What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more. Josh, it is 2024.
It is the 30th of January, 2024, to be specific.
Almost the end of the first month of 2024. We're almost, I suppose, we're 1/12 into the year so far. Half a sixth into the year already, which I would say is the perfect time to welcome the viewers to the 2023 Stick Drift Awards. For them being this delayed, you can thank the Ferrari movie and Audi vs Lancia, which Audi vs Lancia isn't even going to be a part of it.
No, Lionsgate, I don't know what they're doing with that, but they're not releasing it, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, so Audi vs Lancia doesn't even come out this month.
It came out on the 5th in America and Canada.
They've got
and then the 12th in Russia, and apparently it's mid-Feb here.
Yeah.
And then it's mid-March for the rest of Europe.
Which is okay, that's definitely, that's a 2025, that's a 2024 thing at that point. But in the meantime, we now finally have the full list of nominees here for the Stick Drift Awards. And this marks the first episode of 2024 of the Stick Drift Podcast. Back to weekly after this.
First episode of the year, and it's the 30th.
But I'd like to thank all who came. I see the teams for some of the nominees here today. The Mercedes table.
Thanks to the production crew as well for this excellent setup.
Of course, yes. I mean, the set is currently worth, let's just say we charged a lot for the entry fee. Mercedes' table, of course, they do have food, but if there's anything wrong with the food, they will have to walk it over to the chef to be able to actually change anything about it. We're not letting them actually alter anything to do with the food. We also have Tesla's table. It's actually just a set of chairs at the moment, don't worry. Their table will arrive next year.
It releases in 2022. It hasn't actually come out yet.
Exactly. It's just around the corner. And once it's out, once their table is out, it will not actually manage to do things tables are supposed to do.
It'll be half the size. It's comically small.
But we'll claim it's a better table than a Porsche table.
Of course.
But we have a lot of nominees. We have a new award this year as well as I believe perhaps even one missing award as just a lack of nominees.
I think we just substituted the award in because there was no nominees for one of them.
Yeah, but we see most of the regular awards. We've got Best New Car of 2023. We've got some of the iconic Stick Drift awards. We have Goofiest Concept Car. We have Best Innovation, Worst Brand.
Thank God it's gone.
The Thank God It's Gone award, which is the Best Cancellation. We will work on all the other awards having names too, but this is a prestigious award show. I believe my contacts at okay, wait, who won last year? My contacts at BMW tell me that they still have their Thank God It's Gone award on display for the BMW 2 Series convertible.
I mean, they might get another one this year.
True. Were they actually nominated for Thank God It's Gone? I think there's.
They have to have done something stinky or good this year.
The BMW isn't nominated for the Thank God It's Gone award this year, which you could argue is bad. It means they've not cancelled anything that they should have cancelled. That's the best cancellation.
They were nominated for something, weren't they? Yeah, they were.
Yeah, BMW is nominated for Goofiest Concept Car.
Worst new car.
They actually snuck their way into Best New Car and Worst New Car, which is impressive. We've got BMW also nominated for Best Refresh.
This list is just biased now that I look at it, but yeah.
No, absolutely not. We don't take bribes at the Stick Drift Awards because no one's offered us any bribes yet. But I will say,
I was going to say, these are subject to change pending monetary incentive.
That's what we're talking about here. Look, if BMW wanted to sponsor I'm looking at you, BMW table. If you guys wanted to sponsor the Stick Drift Awards, I'm sure you would happen to win a lot of best awards. But in the meantime, you find yourself in Goofiest Concept Car. So you can take that, I suppose. But it was a big year for cars. It was a massive year for cars, but it was also, speaking of cancellations, a massive year of cancellations. Like, I remember doing a tweet that was about how we just everything was getting cancelled. Just everything was getting removed. Iconic things, all essentially for EVs, really.
It's the side effect of having to move to EVs. Brands are just cancelling stuff they currently make and transitioning towards electric vehicles.
But what was wild is 2024 was probably the most paradoxical year for cars. Because people are cancelling cars for EVs, but then EVs had record price plummets. Like, record price plummet. We had a segment in 2023, presumably to carry on in 2024, of just how much had the Porsche Taycan.
Like, fun news facts.
Oh,
the first year in the UK at least, in the past 10 years, EVs haven't gained market share. Which I think it was something like 70% of EV sales were for businesses.
I saw a TikTok about it. Isn't the e-tron like dirt cheap now as well?
I mean, all of luxury EVs are pennies on the dollar, really.
I saw an e-tron.
No one wants them.
Yeah, I saw an e-tron in real life as well, right? It looks fake. It doesn't look. It doesn't look like a real car. Like, it doesn't look good.
I mean, you can see that it's a Porsche Taycan underneath.
It just looks so flimsy.
It's just wide, flat, and plastic.
Yeah, but like, you know, cars have this like aggressive look nowadays, right? Like the cool ones. It just doesn't have it. It just looks like it's out of a video game in person.
I mean, they started teasing it like 2015-ish.
Oh yeah, I mean, Iron Man drove it.
The design is about 2015, which it does look.
That makes sense. Honestly, that fully makes sense because it just doesn't look like it's of this current era. Especially the back. It just doesn't. The e-tron's not a great car.
That's horrendous.
Yeah, it's just not a great car, and that thing's plummeted in price. Same with I literally got a TikTok. The Taycan as well. In the same TikTok about the e-tron, the Polestar 2 is now dirt cheap.
That's a Polestar brand losing any coolness it had.
Good.
It's done a Rivian where it's like, it was cool to have a Polestar. Now, not really. No one cares because they're everywhere.
Yeah, it's rough for EVs. So not only did we see cars like the Camaro, the Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Charger. What else was removed? I mean, I suppose the Aventador was removed for a hybrid, which will then probably be removed for an EV. We see so many cars be removed for EVs and at least something closer like a hybrid. Yet we also see EVs plummet monstrously, and like you said,
I think that's just the result of it being 70% of new EV sales go to trade, not private.
Yeah, because I mean,
they sell that, they just liquidate them once they're done with them.
Having done accounting, most often a car you'll put it on a 5-year cycle, something like that. You'll put it on a cycle because you have to depreciate a car. Because you can't just like buy a bunch of cars and then be like, yeah, these all hold their value 10 years on. Instead, they depreciate. And depreciation has to count in the books as a loss to the company. So eventually, you know, you want to recoup some of that loss. So you sell the car, and selling it for any more than you depreciated it, because it's fake made up depreciation, selling it for any more than that counts as a profit to the company. Like, so everyone's going to eventually, no matter what, gonna sell their car. And clearly that's really damaging the EV
it's just
sales
flooding
now.
the market.
Like, what were they thinking?
I think a third of all Porsches for sale at the minute on Auto Trader are Taycans, which is ridiculous.
That's funny. What did they think? Did they think that like companies would drive them, and then because companies are driving them, now everyone else is gonna want to drive them? Is that what they thought?
I think
like
brands
the hype
don't
trickle down?
care about resale value.
That's what I was thinking, because someone was
especially on luxury cars like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people still buy Maseratis, unironically, when they're worth like £5 the minute you drive them off the lot.
True, yeah. I mean, people buy new Porsches, you know. There's just like someone was saying, oh yeah, but Polestar, this is gonna sink Polestar. They made their money. They don't care about the resale. They're not making the money off the resale.
I can't lie.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, they've made their money. Polestar do not need to care for a single second whether they're selling or not. I mean, the only thing Polestar needs to do is sell enough that they can Cupra, right? So they can Skoda Cupra, where Volvo gets dissolved, and then they just, I don't know, just make Polestar's Volvo, I guess. Rest in peace, Skoda. We saw them. To be fair, we didn't even actually add.
Seat. Was it? I think
was
it was
Seat? We didn't even have
Seat.
anything to do with that.
Seat performance brand.
Right.
No,
yeah.
but new news on that as well. Apparently, Seat aren't going. They're making a rebadged ID2 when that releases. So.
Oh, okay. So
Volkswagen Group are doing what they do best and have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. For them. It makes sense because it doesn't make sense, which is exactly what Volkswagen.
They flip a coin every time the way goes. Like, are we keeping Seat?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's week to week, then they flip the coin again. But we've seen a lot of big car stuff go on this year, and that begins with the worst cancellation of 2024. These are cars that, what are you getting rid of them for? What are you taking away for? These were
see
good.
Some of this list. I mean, you can see why they get rid of them, but yeah.
Well,
they're cool cars, nonetheless.
Yeah. Well, these are cars that, look, if it was between this and the best cancellation, these ones could have at least maybe potentially survived. And let me bring up the music.
I haven't tested any of these hyperlinks, by the way.
I hope you did them properly. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
I tested the first one I did, and then like sort of halfway down, I was like, is it still working? Yeah, sure.
Well, it's gonna be on you if none of these, some of these come up with the wrong image.
You have to get real imaginative if they don't work.
Yeah. Well, we have the Ford GT. For the second year in a row, the Audi R8.
And it'll be next year as well.
The Acura NSeX. And the Dodge Charger. Those are your nominees for the worst cancellation of 2024. I mean, look, they could have been. Look, the Ford GT's sad because it's the only sporty Ford.
I was surprised they were still making it. To be fair, I thought it was gone a long time ago.
Yeah, the Ford GT is. I doubt they were making a bunch of money on it, and they were being weird about that car forever because it was like you had to have a social media following to even own the car, which was already odd.
I think it's because they were making losses on them. They didn't want everyone to go out and buy one who had money.
Yeah.
So they were like, if you've got a following, you can promote the brand, sure.
I reckon they will EV this thing when EVs are a bit. Give it 7 years.
Hybrid.
Do you reckon? I mean, I guess they'd have well though. Hybrid. So yeah, they'll probably hybrid it first. Give it 5 years then, and we'll get a hybrid GT or something like that. I don't know. Then, the Audi R8. The thing about the Audi R8 is I'm fairly certain this thing was nominated last year for worst cancellation. Worst cancellation, Fiesta, Audi R8, Mercedes-AMG GT, Nissan 370Z. This is the second year this car has been cancelled. What are you talking about?
Audi keep doing It's a Volkswagen Audi group thing again, where they're like, oh, we're discontinuing this car. But here's one last one. Oh, we're discontinuing it now. But here's another one, and then one more, and then one more, and one more.
It's odd. It's odd because it's like, let the car die.
It's like
at
those
this
stores
point.
You see that say like closing clearance sale or something.
Yeah.
But then they're open for years. They're doing that. They're like, quick, buy it before it's gone.
Yeah. And then they do this one-off Audi R8. I guarantee you, within maybe 3 years, they'll do another one-off Audi R8. Are they still? Because the Audi R8 is in some like GT stuff, right? Doesn't it do like racing stuff? I feel like I've seen it. It was in the Gran Turismo movie.
It does.
This is like GT3, something like that.
I don't think it needs to be in production to race.
Okay. I was gonna say
homologation rules are long dead.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's what killed cars. I'm gonna say it. Homologation rules.
If we could get a WRC spec Ford Puma, that would be a cool car.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah.
Homologation rules disappearing is what killed cool cars. But we'll talk about that later for one of the other awards, for the new award of this year. But then we have the Acura NSeX. Did you wanted to put this one on here, didn't you? And you also asserted that
I don't like this generation of NSX.
Yeah, the front
first
comes
generation of the new one, the one with the more round front.
Yeah.
If there were 55 to £60,000 no, that'd be a good car.
This one's mouth is sticking out a bit too much. You know,
made it like a Camaro, like
you know how
the Corvette, the C8 Corvette.
Yeah,
it just like so that front stuck on the
Well, what I was thinking was it's like how the Chiron 300 Plus's back is extended. This thing's front has been extended in the same way.
Yeah.
But you also asserted that I was to call this the Honda NSX, and I didn't. And you're gonna have to hold it.
NSX, no way.
I also wrote NSEX. The N's.
I gave me a giggle while I was adding the hyperlink. So that's kind of funny.
Yes. And then the next one was between two cars for this next nomination. And look, the brand is still being nominated. They're still here. They're still.
Said who's won?
Pardon?
Did we say who's won? Best cancellation?
Yeah. Well, we've still got one last nominee.
Worst cancellation. Have we still got one last nominee?
Yeah, of course we do. That's what I'm talking about.
Carry on. I'm lost. Yeah, carry on.
It was between two. It was between two cars that could have been nominated here. Obviously, Dodge, you guys at your table, you still are nominated here. You know, you got your invite. But it was between the Charger and the Challenger that were to be nominated. That, of course, being the two iconic Dodge muscle cars being cancelled, to be replaced by the EV, which looks really stinky. But we'll talk about that in our first regular episode of this year.
First episode back's going to be out.
There's so much. There is so much. But it was between those two. And I think for me, what was the reason that I put the Charger as the nominee instead of the Challenger is because the new EV one looks like the Challenger. It's called a Charger EV, but it looks like the Challenger, but EV. So I was like, essentially, it's the Charger kit that people are gonna miss. You know, the looks of this thing. So your final nominee is the Dodge Charger, which is kind of just on here because it's like you're killing like one of the most iconic muscle cars ever. For both of like it literally is. It's okay if you're not counting like Corvettes and Vipers. It's the Camaro, the Mustang, the Charger, and the Challenger. Those were the muscle cars, and you killed half of them. You killed half of the muscle cars. That's impressive. Thus, they were nominated for worst cancellation, and your winner for worst cancellation out of the Ford GT, the Audi R8, the Acura NSX, and the Dodge Charger goes to the Audi R8 is your winner for worst cancellation. Now, the thing with the Audi R8 is, yes, thank you. I know it's a great award. Thank you. Josh can't actually hear any of the sounds.
No,
so just,
I've got no. I thought you were
there,
playing sounds. Yeah.
The Audi R8, look, it was nominated last year, but the Fiesta got cancelled last year, so it wasn't winning last year. But out of these cars, the Ford GT was already barely being sold to anyone. The Acura NSX didn't exactly go out with a bang.
I think they sold 100 in the entire new generation's production run, which is insane.
Didn't you say in the last year they sold 20 Acura NSXs?
20 over all models of the NSX, yeah. In the UK.
So rough.
No one buys them.
And then the Hellcat and the Charger. Look, that one, I think that was probably close, just because it got nuked for an EV. But the Audi R8, because it should have died. It was
new one comes out soon.
Exactly. It literally came back to win this award. You know, they knew that they
they knew they were going to win, so they're running a stick drift edition.
There you go. That's what happened. Well, you know, they were quite upset. I think Audi CEO had some choice words for us. He's lucky he's still invited. But he had some choice words for us on Twitter after he was beaten out by the Fiesta. Look, he probably had a few too many after watching the awards. But yeah, exactly, right. So they decided to recancel the car this year so that in 2023, so that they could win this award. And obviously, we did the awards pretty late, so they had to confirm a new Audi R8 for 2024 as well. So here we are with the Audi R8 having been cancelled 2 years in a row. You win, all right, Audi, you win. You have been given 2023's worst cancellation. But Josh, I'll let you announce the nominees for the Stick Drift's own Thank God It's Gone award. And the music's up.
Yeah. Is the music done? Is it?
It's playing. It's playing.
Playing? Wow. There are some stinkers in this category. To starting off hot, we've got the E-Class Cabriolet from Mercedes. I mean, who brought these in the first place is a good question. An E-Class, but worse. Then in second nomination, we've got the Renault Zoe, which I'm also surprised they're still making, considering... I suppose this one's getting cancelled for the new Renault 5, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Although they're a bit quick on the gun to kill this. I don't think the Renault 5 comes out till mid this year, early next year, but, you know, the more you know. Then we've got the Fiat, is that 500 or 600X? Your cursor is over there.
600X.
The 600X. I mean, no words needed. Look at the thing. Absolutely
and
disgusting
then
vehicle. And then finally, yeah, we've got the C-Class Cabriolet from Mercedes, because again, convertible sedans shouldn't exist.
And those are your nominees for the best cancellation. The Thank God It's Gone award is the E-Class Cabriolet, the Renault Zoe, the Fiat 600, and the C-Class Cabriolet. The Mercedes running away with this category with 2 nominations.
2 stinkers as well.
Two absolute stinkers. You know what I love about this these 2 awards, this year of awards, is the first one, worst cancellation, is negative because it's why did you cancel this good car? And then the other one, best cancellation, is negative because it's like, good, you finally canceled this car. It's brilliant. You know, what other awards show does it? You know, you don't see the Oscars doing worst film of 2023, do you? But on the Stick Drift podcast, we do it. This thing, I mean, it's a convertible Mercedes. There's no need to say anything else. This thing you were mentioning, what? So I suppose this was to replace the...
Renault 5 will replace the Zoe, yeah. I imagine, in a small hatchback EV in Renault's lineup.
But that thing's like ages away, right? That thing, do they...
Yeah, I don't think this sells too well, and they want to just essentially save the production costs and start manufacturing parts for the Renault 5.
Do they have any hatchback right now? Like any hatchback you can buy new? Did they still make Clios? I suppose they do. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess that one actually sells.
Clio was the best-selling car in France by about a mile last year.
Okay, yeah, they sell in France clearly. Then we have the Fiat 600. I didn't actually know that they cancelled this thing. Even after we wrote it here. Oh wait, hang on. They cancelled it for an EV, for a 500e. Oh no, sorry, it's the 600e.
600e, yeah.
Yeah, okay, no, never mind. This might.
Which I guess uses the same platform, I'd imagine. So.
Yeah, and I mean, there will definitely be talks of EV Fiats and a bath this episode. I tell you what. But you know what? I will say, not a stacked lineup. Not a stacked lineup. It's what was last year's? Last year's was Oh, right, yeah. It was 3 BMWs and a Porsche Macan.
There were BMW convertibles in there as well, sedan convertibles, weren't there?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it was the M2, the BMW 2 Series convertible won last year, but of course they're instead replaced by their German brother, the Mercedes E300 Cabriolet, and the Mercedes. They look identical. Am I crazy? Or they look like they?
I
Okay,
mean, the E-Class is a bigger C-Class.
Yeah. They are kind of different, but they both just like actively suck is the thing. And you know what? Out of those, I'll let you announce the winners of the Thank God It's Gone award as well. And
Special edition winner here.
the music's
There's
playing. Two winners.
I don't know whether the drum roll or whatever's happening.
It's
I
playing.
can't hear it. It's playing. The winners of the Best Cancellation Thank God It's Gone award for 2023.
4. No, 3. Yes.
Yeah, 3. Yeah. Is the Mercedes E-Class Cabriolet and the Mercedes C-Class Cabriolet together. Joint winners.
Joint winners of the Thank God It's Gone award. In fact, if Mercedes won it, we will indeed make 2 awards for them.
Cut the tops off because they're Cabriolet winners.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, we'll give them. It's made out of the fabric of the of the actual soft tops. You know what's wild to me with convertibles, soft top convertibles, is like to break into a car. You know, you gotta do a fair bit to break into a regular car, right? For soft top convertibles,
I mean, you can carry a rock. That's not exactly the most high-tech situation.
Yeah. But for soft top convertibles, you can carry scissors, and you've made it into a soft top convertible.
You're less likely to find scissors on the ground than a rock.
Well, too, you could carry them around. You know, you're just ready. You're ready for a soft top convertible. What if you're a lone artist, right? You're a lone artist. They don't make much money either, you know. So you wanna jimmy someone's car and then sell it on the black market. You don't carry rocks on you. You're an artist. Why would you carry rocks? You know what an artist is gonna carry? Scissors.
Scissors. Yeah.
So never park your soft top convertible in an area of disgruntled artists, especially not with bloody AI. Am I right? Next on the list is the best concept car, which is the award for you know what, they made a concept and they didn't make it absolutely monstrous. You know what, before we even talk about the 2 concept car awards, that Mazda that was nominated last year for Goofiest Concept, the Mazda concept, that thing, they sure made that last year. It did the promotional rounds this year. It was at like SEMA. It was at just like any kind of car show had the goofy Mazda. People on TikTok were talking about it. How it was like, this is the new RX-7. Yep. Everyone was calling it the new RX-7. What a monstrosity.
Poor RX-8, man. Like, it just gets forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
It's not new RX-8. It's always new RX-7.
Well, because the point was that it went RX 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8, yeah.
But, you know, they never did an RX-9, right? So, realistically, it would be an RX-9. But no, people want, no, do an RX-7 too, please. To be fair, all credits to TikTok. The TikTok comments were right. They were like, shit looks more like an MX-5.
It's a long MX-5.
Yeah. It had an interesting, like, lights concept. So instead of having pop-ups, it had, like, stabby pop-ups. It would come up. And, you know what, let me actually, Mazda concept. I'll bring up.
I don't think I saw this.
We talked about it when it was first getting announced and whatnot. Here, so it's got like, because I remember you were like, that is never making any kind of regulation ever. It's got stabby pop-ups.
Oh,
so instead of the light being on the palm of the pop-up light, the light is on the fingertips. And it just kind of like slightly opens
up. Right at knee
up.
height as well. Perfect for amputating pedestrians.
Exactly. Like, you crash into someone and they're losing their ankle. That's terrible. There's never going to be lights like that on a car, just because you can't have lights like that in a car nowadays. You can't have pop-ups and anything either, right?
It'll look nothing like this when it releases.
Oh, yeah, if it releases, right? But, to be fair, news articles even are saying, like, oh, MX-5, but I think it was TikTok, and clickbaiters who are like, oh, it's the new RX-7. It's an RX-7. But, yeah, I talk about this thing because although we saw the, like, one image for it, and we're like, what is that? It really sort of was made for this year rather than 2022. I forget where I probably have said 2024 for these awards one too many times, given the title of the document was accidentally 2024 and not 2023. Shit's confusing. But speaking of cars,
it was made in 24.
Exactly. But speaking of cars that were the best concept cars instead of the worst, like that Mazda. These are your nominees for Best Concept Car. You have the Alpine A290. You have the Porsche Mission X. The Polestar Synergy. And a nomination to Porsche again with the Porsche 357 Speedster. Those are your nominees for 2023's Best Concept Cars. And let's begin. Alpine A110. I mean, come on.
A290.
That's what I said. I think actually, you prove it.
Uh-huh.
The Alpine A290. It just did so much for... It came out at the right time, because everyone's revamping hatchbacks. The ID2, the Renault 5, and then the Alpine A290 comes out. It also is pretty goddamn unique, because it's got center steering. It's got...
I don't think the production one will.
No,
they said it would, and they probably looked at their finances and were like, never mind, and no, it won't.
Yeah, because, I mean, no one makes stuff for high-volume production center steering cars, right? Like, I
mean, Renault don't, is the thing. It's going to be a Renault 5, just modified.
Yeah.
Renault aren't going to make a separate production line for a center seat car.
Yeah. It also probably won't look as cool as this.
They won't have the carbon fiber.
Yeah. One thing that's really unfortunate is that when it comes to this thing, is someone mentioned this and they were absolutely right. It's a PlayStation controller as a car. It's a PS5 controller car.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yep. It's got the white, the angles are the same style. It's got the black, and it's got the blue lines on it, too, on either side. Very funny, but it's also from Alpine, which, for me right now, they are top 1 brands of all time.
I need to see the production variant before I make a decision on it. The prototype looks sick. Yeah, center steering, carbon fiber, like bodywork on it, and
it looks pretty sleek too.
I think it's just going to be a lower, wider Renault 5.
Is it EV?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be like 2 pounds by the end of...
8 million tons, way too much money, way too heavy.
And be about 2 pounds by the end of like the 5-year depreciation cycle. So...
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing, yeah.
Exactly, right? So I can have an Alpine A110 for like 30, and then have an Alpine A290 for like $2,000. So,
if this costs more than... If this is more than £40,000,
everyone is going affordable with their new hatchbacks. Like, everyone. I think they know that this can't be more than, like, what's the average new hatch that everyone's shooting for? Like, 20, 25? I think, because if it comes out...
Average is more like 30, but yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, then you're right. Then 40's perfect. Like, I was going to say 10k more.
No one's buying a £40,000 EV Alpine.
Well... Because it's a hatchback, but it's actually sporty, right? People bought the Focus RS, did they not, right? And that was like £1 billion, you know? Like...
Focus RS is quicker.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah. Well, Alpine A290. Then we have the Porsche Mission X. What and why was this thing? Like...
It's meant to be like sort of a Le Mans LMP-style car, but road legal and EV...
Which
they have too much money, I think, is the answer.
Essentially, yeah. So I know that they did that one racing version of this thing. That thing, very sick looking.
R.
Yeah, Mission R. Very, very sick looking. And this thing, again, having like a road version of a really cool looking supercar. I hope they make this thing. I hope they make, because it looks like it could release like this. Like, I hope they release this thing and it would be a brilliant modern version of the, what's the, Carrera 918, those kind of Porsches, you know?
I would disagree, but yeah, you're entitled to your own opinion.
Would agree with myself there. So, and Porsche, release this thing. This thing, very cool. And, you know, it's just they picked the worst color imaginable for it. They just picked,
Bronze.
like, the such a strange color to show it off here. It just looks, it's like that one, Vulcan road legal that they made, that they put in brown to make it as like dull as they could. It's just odd to go with this thing like that. Then we have the Polestar Synergy.
They will never have the money to make one of these.
But I think this thing is like, Polestar have been doing some cool things recently, alright? Did they get nominated
make one car? Like, they have made one car in the entire company's existence. They're a Tesla. They're never making any of these.
But they make cool concepts, alright? There was also...
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually
Make more concepts than do actual cars.
I'm so livid. This thing wasn't nominated for a Stick Drift award this year, but the other Polestar sports car that they made, was it a concept? It was, right? I doubt they're gonna.
Well, I mean, they're making these IRL, so.
Oh, they made a hardtop version of that one concept. This thing didn't get nominated for anything, and that's criminal. That is absolutely criminal.
If they made physical versions, not just 3D renders, it'd be alright, but...
It's a shit car. And,
if they just pay an intern to sit on Blender and they choose the best one they come up with in the week, and just, there you go, have this.
Exactly. Like, this thing, very cool. I will say Polestar good, except for the cars that they do make. But this thing...
plural is an old overstatement. They make one car.
But the Polestar Synergy, was this a Vision GT? Because it looks like
it just looks generic Vision GT.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they released
ultra futuristic. Bad.
They released 2 recently, and it looks like it could have been one of those. Honestly, like it could have been. But yeah, you know what? Out of all of the selections of concept cars, I think this one does a pretty good job of being like, hey, look, it's a Polestar, but it's like from the movie iRobot.
What's
you know?
about that is Polestar?
Well, the front,
apart from the badge,
this like angle kind of shape, right? Pardon me.
Futuristic Peugeot lights, banger here.
Well, look, it's very Polestar. See, the issue is,
pull up an image of that production car, the Polestar.
No, see, that's what I mean.
This has any resemblance.
That's what I mean. This Polestar is how do I put this? It's not Polestar as in the cars that they do make. It's Polestar as in the cars that they don't make. But, you know, look, okay, I found one. Here we go. You're about to have your mind blown, all right? This is the Polestar 3. Look at those lights. You see how those lights, you see how they, on the inside, they split up?
Are they actually going to make this?
I don't know. I think we talked about this 2022, so probably.
We're still not out yet.
See those lights? You know, see how they're a line that splits like that? That's exactly what this thing has, just like way more split, you know, and over the top, because it's a concept. See that angle? The angle, right? It's there, because it's a Polestar, and the hood. You see the hood? They both have hoods.
They both have mirrors.
And Polestar also did the reverse cam. We didn't put that into, like, worst innovation or something? The reverse camera. We don't have a worst innovation. But the reverse camera. They took out Polestar this year, 2023 that being, removed the rear windshield. That's the
Polestar 4, isn't it?
I think so. But they removed the rear windshield and made it a camera, and then your rearview mirror is just a little screen of that camera. So that's kind of funny. But they're doing that. But then the final nominee for, I believe, Best Concept Car, is the Porsche 357 Speedster. Look, it just does a good job of being like a.
It's just a cool futuristic speedster.
Yeah, it's like a, it's like a look. It does a good job of being like a, it's a 75 years of Porsche, and it looks cool for that, And because it's a concept, it doesn't really matter that it's convertible either. But I would say I'm reconsidering the winner of this segment, just because based on the talking of this award.
What makes a concept car good is the possibility of purchasing one.
Okay.
The point of a concept is to prove that you are innovating. You will make this in the future. It's a concept of what's to come.
But
not a concept of gonna sit in the back of a Porsche warehouse for 40 years and then be worth $8 billion one day.
But is that the point of a concept, or is the point of a concept just to make something out there that looks cool, Like, because if we were going for that, it's probably just the Porsche Mission X, right? This thing will come to market, sure, but not in the way it looks. I suppose it is the most likely to. The Polestar, never. And the Porsche...
They're never actually making them with 3D renders for that.
True. Did they make a physical one of this Porsche?
I think they made one.
Yeah. And
but yeah, that's never gonna make production.
It is very cool. I will say. I will give this Porsche the you know what? It gets I'm torn. But and let's roll the music. Your winner for best concept car out of the Alpine A290, the Porsche Mission X, the Polestar, and the Porsche 357. I don't remember the name of the Polestar. Synergy, that's the one. Your winner is the Alpine A290. But I will say, I was this close to saying the Porsche Mission, the Porsche 357. Because the Alpine definitely has some things about it. But the Porsche is just such a good, like, trophy of a car, right? Like, they made that for themselves to be like, yeah, we made a Porsche.
They're not, I mean... Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that Porsche got in here with 2 nominations, that's good on them. Next, Porsche, do an Audi and re-release this thing next year. Make a 76.
Do a 76, yeah.
Like, just change the livery to 76 and then release this thing again. And you know what? You might win next year's best concept with it, because this thing has got a place in my heart. It gets the runner-up award for best concept, I will say. But we'll talk about them after, but just hit me with the nominees for Goofiest Concept Car. You got the list in front of you as well.
It is a stinker category this year.
And the music is rolling.
We got the Mercedes Vision 111, which looks like a Hoover. Then we've got the Nissan Max Out, which coincidentally also looks like a Hoover. And then we've got the Honda Zero, and I put in brackets sales because it just looks like a Hoover, like all the other ones. And then the BMW Concept Touring Coupe, which is a Z3M Coupe, but long.
You didn't pick the best image for this thing, in the fact that, like, just to show how bad it really is. Like, this thing
It looks sort of good from the front. I want an image from the back because it shows how stupid looking the thing is.
Well, the front's just like a basic BMW nowadays. Oh, no, yeah. I see the bulbous shape of this rear.
It looks like if you accelerate and just comically do that because it weighs so much on the rear.
But we have 3 vacuum cleaners and a BMW. See, these 3 cars, these 3 concept cars,
they had to have colluded to come out with this. Like, they're all the same.
And every time one of these came out, straight away I realized, hang on a minute, these all just look like those old school handheld vacuum cleaners. And they do.
They do.
In fact, it's wild that 3 separate companies made these, and they all have that distinct.
And they all revealed them this year. These would have been relevant for years, I'd imagine.
Exactly. And they were like different sets of years too. And they then come out all at the same time, all looking terrible. And then we have the this thing, which
not as terrible in comparison, but it is still a stinker because it looks like a Z3M Coupe.
Are they not making this? Like, how is this a concept? How are they not just like?
It's meant to be like the Z3M Coupe.
Oh,
it's the point, but newer. They're not actually making it because no one would buy it. But yeah, it's meant to just be a modern take on the Z3M Coupe.
You know what? This thing might be good then, in that fact that that it's a concept. Yes, keep it that way. You know, it's like when someone posts music on TikTok. It's keep this shit unreleased. This car has a hidden talent. It should keep it hidden. But these 3, we saw these across the year. They were whatever. They actually started showing up at car shows. I'm fairly certain this Nissan was in a, you won't know it, but it's like a TV show about a cat guy and a ladybug girl, and it's like a.
We talked about that for the Volkswagen advertising.
Yeah, was that Volkswagen? Was that not this thing?
No, that was Volkswagen. Did some stinkers with that show.
Oh.
They had like an ID bug concept because it's like a ladybug.
Yeah.
They paid way too much for that advertising directly to children, might add, as well, which I thought was illegal.
You know what I just remembered? It's there's no way this didn't get nominated. I completely forgot about it. This thing, the GTR, this thing.
I forgot that existed.
You know what? I'm vetoing the BMW.
I agree.
The BMW, good. It's a concept. This thing, what are you doing?
Get this off the screen. Look at it.
The Nissan GTR concept that came out this year. Now the thing is, compare it. Yeah, compare it to the Micra. The Micra concept, this shit goes hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Does it really?
Yeah. Look at the front. The Micra concept goes hard.
Pentagon wheels. Bang.
But this thing, it just looks like, it looks like a regular GTR R35.
Low poly.
But low poly. Like it got stung by a cubic bee. Is what it looks like. Like the way that the lights are indented, it looks like the lights are still there, but everything else just like it's so ugly. It's so ugly.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what they were thinking.
Yeah, and that thing is also. I think I remembered why I was thinking of Ladybug and the whatever. It's because Volkswagen did a promotional image for that looked very similar to this promotional image that Nissan did for these 3 things. That's why I was thinking of that. Which, you know what? Nissan already has 2 nominations.
The pickup's kind of cool. I can't lie. It's like sort of.
I suppose. The pickup could survive, right? It's like a Rivian, but a bit more futuristic. But this thing, it's
like a Nissan Note, but worse.
Yeah. But. Out of these, I mean, I don't even know if we could reconfer on who wins this.
I think I know what you want to do, and I support your decision. I support it, fella.
Because there's a winner before, but then as it got reshuffled,
I've been reminded of a worse car.
So previously, and you know what? At least these things they're twinning, you know. So.
Tripling.
And we roll on the music. Previously, for Goofiest Concept Car, the winners were going to be joint 3-way win. To then, you know, have a race at the end for the Piston Cup. Between the vacuum cleaners. The winner here was going to be the vacuum cleaner. But instead, a latecomer into the category. Your award for Goofiest Concept Car of 2023 goes to the Nissan GTR concept. For being, you know what, Nissan, they tried their hardest. They said we need to make the worst concept car imaginable.
You couldn't make something this bad on purpose. This has to be an accident.
There had been...
They left a 3D model of the GTR open and they just flicked a PC on enough a lot of times and it corrupted and this one came out.
There has been so many good GTR concepts out there by independent designers, and this was what Nissan, the multi-billion-dollar company, came up with. This is Nissan's legacy for the GTR. I hope you guys take your award and learn a lesson. Who won? I was looking at it last year. I think what we did, I don't really remember, but last year the nominees were that goofy Rolls Royce, the ID Life, the Mazda, the Mazda concept, and every Tesla ever shown, because haha, funny, they're all concept.
It's a good joke.
And then an even better one. We talk about all four of those, and then the winner is the Mercedes Vision AVTR concept. The one they keep showing everywhere all the time.
Oh yeah.
But then we have the nominees for these are the nominees for best new car, the award you all wait for in the Stick Drift podcast. I would say the award that can only be won by a brand who's put in the work. Unless no one really put in the work, at which point, I don't know, that it's basically a participation trophy. This award, rolling on the music, your nominees are the Porsche 911 Dakar. Surprise!
It is a car.
It's the car. The Alpine A110R. The Lamborghini Revuelto, which we did not spell right, by the way.
I spell it how you pronounce it, yeah.
And the BMW M3 Touring. A very surprising nomination for BMW in this race. What else did they get nominated for so far? Best Cancellation. Oh no, that's last year.
They're in the next category as well.
Yeah.
So.
They got nominated for Goofiest Concept so far. But from going from Goofiest Concept to Best Car Award, well, we'll talk about it. So the Porsche Dakar, I think I was on to put this here. Because look.
I'm not a fan.
They did a better job than the Starato, alright?
Yeah, but a toddler could do a better job than the Starato.
Like, it's actually raised. It's got a cool livery. You can buy it. It's an actual off-roadable Porsche. And it's like, look, if you want an off-road car of some kind, like, if
is in the largest italics.
What is?
Off-roadable.
Well, you know, look, if you want like
you could take it on gravel, which is by definition off-road, sure.
See? You could drive it around in your garden, that's off-road.
I've driven the Clio on the field before to park for an event, so I've driven the Clio off-road.
Look, if you went really slow, you could probably trek through a forest, I reckon, and it's not as big as like a Hummer EV, so it's even better at off-road through a forest. But this thing is nominated as a Porsche, which is the first time a Porsche has been nominated in the annual Stick Drift Awards. That being last year and this year.
2 categories ago.
Well, nominated for Best Car. In total, companies to have received a Best Car nomination was Volkswagen with the ID Buzz. Civic Honda got nominated with the Type R. I don't know if now, you know what, the Type R was cool. No, I'm not gonna backtrack on that.
What were the other cars last year? Because
I'm not revealing that one because we'll talk about that one later. One of the nominees, and it clearly was a bad year for new cars last year because the 4th nomination was the Toyota Supra manual.
We must know how to find something else good enough.
But we'll come back to one of those other nominations. In the meantime, we have your nominees for. Oh no, never mind. We still got the other ones to talk about. The Alpine A110R. This one goes without saying. Look. It's Alpine. They did a bad, then got bought by bought by Renault. Then Renault needed a name for their F1 team, so they went, Alpine. They did Rally before, I guess. Then they went, okay, look, what if we let you make cars again?
They were making cars before the F1 team now.
Were they just rebadges? Were they just...
No, the A110 has been around since 2018.
As in, like, been making new ones? Like,
yeah.
As in this thing?
Yeah. Not the R, but the normal A110 has been around since 2018, yeah.
I did not know that. Okay.
No one buys them, but yeah.
I suppose. Well, they went out and made an affordable, not by their own making, sporty, unique-looking French, yes, this is best car, French sports car. It's two-seater, yes. It's
mid-engine rear-wheel drive.
Mid-engine rear-wheel drive, that's good, I assume?
I'll let you decide.
I'm going to say yes. It's also very versatile, I will say. There's been a, I don't know if it's official, the last one I'm going to talk about. But let me talk about some of the stuff that they've done with this thing. Obviously, there was an official rally version that they made of the car. That was this thing right here. I
can't imagine it was very good, but you know.
Well, you know, it was like a rally version, you know.
Rally with what ride height?
Well, yeah.
If you go over a pebble, your wheels go through your front arch.
But then there's also a sporty version that you know, you can actually buy, but it's like the GT version, but for the road. Then we even have a Pikes Peak. They ran this car at Pikes Peak. They ran it at Pikes Peak. And then this one, I'm not sure if it's official. Like a Rally Raid version? Like a Alpine A110 Sports X. Which,
doesn't look official. It's way too wide in the rear.
You reckon? But yeah, this thing as well. But Alpine, absolute top one brand, and at the moment they're currently expanding as well into other cars. Right. But this car, its legacy isn't ruined yet, because they are revamping this car soon. They're getting rid of the bug lights, the circle lights at the front.
It's good for now.
It
might be under worst new car at some point in the near future.
Don't worry, because it wouldn't be the first car to do so, which we'll get to. But then we have the Lamborghini Revuelto. I think I speak for a fair few people when I say I think we grew on this car this year. I think when it first revealed, we were all kind of hating. Now it's like the exhaust is dumb, but the car's kind of alright. Like, it's still a Lamborghini Aventador competitor. I reckon it holds its own. What do you have to say for the Revuelto?
It's too stubby.
You reckon? Really?
Look at the front. It looks like it's run into a wall.
Yeah, but I mean, it does look a bit like too hurricane-y of a front.
God, what's the one in the hypercar in the Crew 2 that was good?
What, the Egoista?
It's got like an Egoista angle front end, where it's just like a sort of ramp.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Not a fan.
It's just kind of what they're
going for. I also love
the
exposed radiator on the bottom left. That is not going to get a rock through in the first 5 miles.
Well, good thing it's a car you don't drive when you buy. So
you drive it in reverse, that won't happen.
Exactly. Then we have the so you're going to have to explain this one for me. Why did you nominate the BMW M3 Touring?
Real answer is I couldn't think of anything else, but it's a BMW M3. But an estate. Yeah.
I will say, looks kind of cool. For a wagon, for a BMW wagon, because I kind of hate on BMW wagons, I'll admit. I'm the first guy to do it. Look, I love Audi wagons, some of them. But BMW wagons, the old ones, they just look shoddy. They just look so shoddy. New ones, on the other hand, I would say that this one, I kind of don't even mind the pig snout on it. I think, because wagons, they look best when they look aggressive. Pig snouts look dumb when it's on like an M2 size car, right? This is on a wagon, right? You drop that thing, canard, something like that. The pig snouts help it look aggressive. That's why I don't like BMW older wagons, because they just don't look aggressive. They just
Still not a fan of the pig snouts, but yeah, I mean...
I think it works better on this than it does on, like, any other BMW they put them on. So, I can accept this one in the case of, you know, it's the Supra manual of the best new car is what it is. It's the Supra manual.
Yeah.
It's the we didn't have anything
it was
else.
either this or something else that it would have been so stinky.
But rolling the music, your winner for best new car of 2023. The car to beat out the car to represent this year in the future is out of the Porsche Dakar, the Alpine A110R, the Lamborghini Revuelto, and the BMW M3 Touring is the Alpine A110R. Thanks to absolutely zero bias on the part
I think everyone saw this one coming,
of any of the judges. It's not like it's my dream car or anything.
I mean, I don't like the 911 Dakar. I don't like the Revuelto. I'm not the biggest fan of the M3. So.
It's the simple one to go with. I think if we were the average car guy, I think the people like Porsche. If you get on car TikTok or car
people
Instagram,
like BMW.
Yeah, true. But trust me, if you get onto like car TikTok, car Instagram, car Twitter, it's all Porsche love. Like, it is all Porsche. A BMW has to be like an M to be like hyped up on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram.
I mean, same with the Porsche though. If you're not getting the GT,
To be fair, it is like it's
you
the
are
GT,
getting rinsed.
I suppose, yeah. But people love Porsches. But on the Revuelto, I reckon people would cling to, in my opinion. But that's your winners for best new car. The fact the M3 Touring made it on it, I'm kind of proud of it. I am. It's like BMW got not only Goofiest Concept Car
M5
nomination.
Touring comes out this year. So.
yeah, there you go. But speaking of BMW nominations, Josh, will you take the honors of announcing the nominees for worst new car?
I don't know if you could call this an honor, to be honest.
We're rolling.
I've got to say these names.
We're rolling the music.
Unfortunately, we have the Cybertruck as
a big surprise.
Our first nomination.
Yep, then.
Is it a big surprise? Second nomination is the BMW XM. Nothing more needs to be said on that. The Ferrari Rover for third nominee. Which, yeah. And then the Lotus, is it Elytra? The pronunciation?
Elytra, I believe, yep.
Elytra, yeah. More like a leave, please.
And you know what's fun about these nominees? Is every single one is a big car. It's 3 SUVs and a pickup.
I mean, the Rover's a sports coupe.
Oh wait, this is not what this isn't the one I meant. This isn't the. I'm talking about the
Pasug.
Is that what that thing's called? Oh, why have I been saying Roma this time?
The Roma did come out. The convertible Roma is no.
Yeah, well, it's.
And it is horrendous. It
is. But I don't know if it's.
Front grille.
Hear me out. I don't know if it's this horrendous, right? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know.
That's just a Mazda CX-3. But
that's what I'm talking about. In fact, I
prefer the Pasung over the Roma.
You do? You prefer you prefer this thing over the Roma? Let me look at the Roma a bit more. Let me look. I mean, look.
Why is it so long?
It does look straight out of like 2012, I will say. Like, it's got no nuance to its design. Like, it's round. It's a round car in current year, right? This thing, it's just like, it's a Ferrari SUV. What this car stands for deserves to be worst.
I mean, them saying they'd never make an SUV, I guess it deserves.
This is just like the average bad Ferrari. Like, as far as bad Ferraris go, this is just kind of like, yeah, no one will buy it, and then it'll be one of those, like, you know, maybe 50 grand Ferraris eventually, right? This thing is going to begin to plummet Ferrari's reputation. I mean, then again, I might be wrong, you know, people don't really look down on Lambo too much for the Urus, considering it's the most bought Lambo. I guess we'll see, but you know what? We can try and get it for people to look down on it. The Cybertruck. Now, when I said big surprise, I meant...
Does this count as a new car?
Yeah, it released in America, alright.
It hasn't released. They've shipped 10.
I imagine that to YouTubers. Or anyone who can actually publicize that they received it.
I think it was VIPs in their words.
Yep. But this thing is, when I said surprised, surprisingly, and you said, are you sure about that? I didn't mean...
You can see the A-pillars a different colour to the front right fender.
Yeah, it's a different type of metal, I suppose. Oh, not type of metal, but like, yeah.
It's just a different colour.
It looks like a different finish, that's what it... Well, they're both silver, but it looks like a completely different finish. But like I was saying, the surprise here isn't that it's on worst car nominees, because that's valid. It's that this thing released at all this year. And look, if it technically releases next year, I'm happy for it to win 2 worst car awards. Thus, it's nominated here too. Then we have the most valid nominee here. The BMW XM. What a monstrosity.
I like how they've given it a pinstripe, and then it like wraps around the doors.
Yeah, they Veyroned it. They gave it a Veyron. I will say, I've seen this thing in real life. It's massive.
Oh, yeah. Like, the only time I've ever seen one, it was blocking the road.
Like, it's...
Like, everyone had to stop and reverse, let the guy through, because it's that big.
It's like Escalade big. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit on UK roads. This is clearly in America, I'd imagine. Because it's actually in the lane.
Yeah. It is an insane car. The size-wise and just inconvenience-wise. And then you look at the interior, even in this picture, you can see it's just the most basic size SUV interior imaginable.
Yeah.
It's like you just get, you get your 5 seats and you get your decent, like the seats go pretty far back. You're not even getting a lot of boot space. Like, why buy this car? Truly.
Buy them Victoria.
Buy this? Exactly. That way you get a shit ton of boot space as well. Like, what's the estimate? You reckon that thing has more boot space than this?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And you can still fit your whole family in it. And you don't take up 5 lanes. Rubbish. Then the company that said they would never advertise and then put a Ferrari in Fortnite. The company that said they would never let someone put any customization.
Is a valid exception to the rule.
True. A company that said they would never allow you to customize their cars either, and stuck to it. A company that is just the absolute most nuisance. They are the Sony of cars. Like, as Sony is to gaming, they're the Sony of cars, and that is Ferrari with the absolutely disgusting SUV. A car that is just like... You know what I love about it? I love that people go instant... There's some people who go instant Coupe with it. Who go like, Ferrari said they were never going to make an SUV. And they didn't. They made a sporty crossover larger
They done a
sedan
Lamborghini and didn't call it an SUV. They call it like a sports...
Something,
something idiotic, really.
Because I remember someone used the like Hot Pursuit voice to do like a big like Ferrari said they'd never make an SUV, and then instead they didn't. They made this, and it's really cool actually. Look at it here. Look at how tacky it looks. Look at how rubbish this thing
has a
looks.
V12.
Is that good? Is that bad? That's a big engine.
The only redeeming factor.
Oh. Does it go fast at least then, I suppose?
I think it makes like 600 and something horsepower, yeah.
That's like at least a few. I will say, even the back is pretty stinky. It's pretty smelly.
What they do to the TDF?
Yeah. I will say, I'm happy to consider this a joint nomination for this and the Roma, because both are pretty stinky in their own separate ways. And then we have the Lotus Elitra. Now, last time we talked, to catch up the viewers, last time we talked about this car, it was talking about how other car companies need to make SUVs like this. Other car companies need to do this. This is one of the best
if I
and
said that,
most acceptable...
I retract my statement.
This is one of the best and most acceptable SUVs out there. It's actually good. I would buy one, said Josh Lear. And you're gonna have to explain why we went from that...
I need to know why I said that. I'm assuming it's because it's tiny.
I think it was also, it's a Lotus SUV. They made it kind of cool looking too, It's the Lotus Elitra. Woo! Once you have done your research, you can explain why you have...
No, I was just on drugs that day, apparently. I don't know why I said that.
Why you
Horrible
have
car.
completely
Too long,
180.
too wide, too heavy. Bulbous looking at the front. It looks idiotic in real life. The front overhang it's like it's got an overbite.
I don't
the thing.
I don't know how we didn't catch Too Long sooner, where the pictures like this existing.
5.1 meters. I'm happy now.
That's and then what? And then that made you decide this car. Seeing one in real life.
I forgot it existed, so I saw one in real life.
Yeah, made you realize that you despise this car deeply. And it is now up there in worst new cars. It had such a fall off that it went from like, yeah, they're doing something cool, let's go, woo, to this, to the state that it's in now.
Also, it has lights under the front bit, by the way. You could see them in this image.
Yeah, I see them here, yeah.
Yeah, they're the daylight running lights. They're the ones that light up.
These ones don't?
Brain dead. They're like your high beams.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. That looks
idiotic.
Odd. I was going to say, if these lights didn't exist, it would look dumb in a cool way, but it's the fact that these ones exist and would be off, and then you have these ones down here that looks more... It looks like a different car. If you remove those lights, it looks like a goofy concept Mustang.
It's like it's got a growth on it. It's
yeah. But this thing, yeah, it fell off hard.
It's bad.
Clearly.
It's bad. Yeah.
And your winner, you can announce the winner for best. For worst new.
Winner of worst new car in the year of 2023 out of the Cybertruck, the BMW XM, the Ferrari Pasung,
yep,
and the Lotus Elitra is the Ferrari Pasung. How do you even pronounce that? It's a bad name for a bad car.
And you know what? That adds to why it's the worst new car.
The Ferrari poo. There you go.
It just had no place existing, is what I'll say. It just had no place existing. It came out of nowhere. Ferrari SUV. It was a joke, right? It's one step removed from a Bugatti SUV, right? Like, that's what's bad about this. Is it follows the trend that the Urus set. And if the Urus has gotten so much hate throughout the lifespan of this podcast, I think this thing deserved to.
Yes.
But
they can share the hatred.
Exactly. And then we move to some of the more fun awards of the podcast.
Yeah.
We have an interesting one. I quite like this one. We were there for a hot minute talking about this one actually. What should be nominated? I believe this was almost to be removed because people ain't done much this year, but we got enough at the end. These are your nominees on the Stick Drift Awards for Best Innovation. We have the Rimac Nevera. The... Oh, okay, that is a name. Is that ETH as in the... Is it sponsored by... Or is it the university
No, I think
name?
it's like Institute of Technology, but in language.
Okay. Zurich and Lucerne University car. The... You're gonna have to tell me what this one's talking about. The Honda E-Clutch. And... Now, this one's pretty goated. The Ford steering wheel table.
Now, this is real innovation.
This one's revolutionary. But we'll begin. The Rimac Nevera. This thing came out of nowhere. It was a car that existed, sure. But then we just woke up one day and it was like, by the way, the Rimac Nevera just like broke every record, by the way.
It broke records no one cares about, is all I'll say.
Well, doesn't it also now have the record for most records broken in a day? Something like that?
Yeah, because they did like reverse 60 to 120 mile an hour acceleration record.
Yeah.
I could do the amount of eggs held in my left hand while driving to Tesco record. I don't think it makes it any more special.
I'm holding you to that, but I reckon it just like... Yeah, they definitely went for some wild and wacky ones. They definitely... It's still cool. It's still cool that, like, currently the biggest record breaker car in the world is a revolutionary EV, and it did it in reverse. I think it holds most of them, yeah. I mean, until the Zurich...
I'm thinking, what sort of records people care about? Does it help the Nürburgring record still?
I don't actually know. I didn't know it did hold that, so there you go. That's pretty sick.
I don't think this specific version did.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, the Rimac Nevera does.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
But the Porsche Taycan GT is only 2 seconds behind it.
Well...
That'll break that record in about a year.
Well, they've taken too long then, clearly. 2 seconds too long.
Taycan costs about a tenth of the Rimac Nevera.
Yeah, but like it's... You know, we're not buying it. No one's buying either of those cars, clearly. It's funny that like a 40 grand car is breaking all those records, or what? Not breaking all those records.
It's not the 40 grand variant. It's the top spec GT Turbo S.
Yeah, I suppose. But the Rimac Nevera, pretty cool big sports car, and now it's here in the game and the whatever. Then we have these guys, which I believe Tom Scott made a video. Some university students in
Germany.
I
think Zurich's Germany, isn't it? I'm not going to say.
I don't know. You did German, you know. 9.
My bad. Ich bin Josh.
Exactly. This thing, it just came out again like the Nevera. It was just like, hey, people just broke the 0 to 60 world record. They just did it in like 2 seconds or whatever.
0.9, I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, what? That's nuts.
Well, I mean, look at the thing. It's specifically built to do it.
Yeah. And that's very, very, very sick. I imagine it took them very long. It's put the university on the map, I imagine. Very, very, very cool.
They got their return on investment.
Exactly. Very, very, very cool thing that they've managed to do here. And now you tell me why a Honda E-Clutch competes.
It's just Honda being so idiotic again,
Sure.
as per usual.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you know you have an automatic, right? And
Sure.
it does the gears for you using a torque converter.
Yeah.
Then you have dual clutch transmission, which has 2 clutches that do the gears for you.
Sure.
Honda were like, how can we make this but worse in every single aspect, right?
Yeah.
You have a normal manual sequential gearbox,
Yeah.
but when you stop, it enables the clutch for you.
This is best innovation, right? This is because you really
This is
hated
any
on
innovation. I don't know why they.
You hated on it on its way out, but so that you know what, that vaguely
It is
makes
innovation.
sense. Yeah.
It's just innovation in an area I don't think anyone cares about.
Is it convenient? Probably.
I think the point is it weighs less than a dual clutch transmission, and combined with a no lift shift kit, you don't need to use the clutch at all.
Yeah.
But like, but just get the dual clutch. They do a dual clutch transmission. It weighs like 6 kilos less, I guess, doing it this way.
This is best innovation. Just remember,
This is such groundbreaking innovation. I can't believe they were brave enough to do this.
Well,
you can buy this starting this year.
They started, brought to you by Honda. But it was either this or like that crab walking car, but then you were like, that's been out for ages. But they really started promoting that crab walker car this year, you know? So that's also
I want to see what the failure rate on the C-clutch is. Because look, they have the 2 motors that just drive gears that actuate the clutch.
Yeah.
In the engine casing.
Yeah.
Right next to the cylinder number 4. So this is gonna cook.
But I believe this replaced it replaced something. It replaced something dumb. But tell you what, crab walk should have been here. Then instead,
crab walk should not have been here. I am adamantly against crab walk.
You know, we have a bunch of university students that spent their hard-working time and effort, made it into the industry, and broke world records that cannot be beat in the near future. And then the Ford steering wheel table. Now let me let you in on this one. You're telling me you sit there, you ordered food, right? You ordered food and you sat there and you got your food in your hand, right? And you stopped your car and you're like, okay, how am I gonna eat this, right? Oh, I'm gonna have to get it out, and then the thing's gonna have to sit on my lap, and then, you know, you still got chips in there, so you don't want to fall over, so you kind of have to balance it while you're eating your burger, so the chips don't all fall everywhere, and there's nothing where you can balance them. You can put them on the dash, but then, you know, what if they fall out? And, you know, then you gotta reach all the way to go and get your food, or maybe you want to set up TikTok to watch a YouTube video while you're stopped. Now, with a sleek combination of the steering wheel angling upwards and a thing that it comes with, I assume?
Cover.
A cover. You now have, right there in your car, a table.
Or van.
A table for anything and everything you need. In fact, right before this, I saw a guy who designed, like, big 3D printed cut and stuff, like a table for your car, like a big foldy outy, you know, you gotta get it out and then you fold it out and then it covers the whole of the front of the car, even the passenger side. And it was like, everyone was like, you should sell this is great, patent it or whatever, you'll be a billionaire. Ford just beat him to it.
What I will say is, if you zoom out of this image a bit, notice this is a 3-seat front, right? Where are your passengers meant to eat? There's no table for the passengers.
Is there a secret table of some kind?
Unfortunately not, no. Ford have missed the mark.
You know what, they have. At least the guy on TikTok.
They need a table glove compartment next. Maybe next year, Ford.
See?
Maybe next year.
So
is this Ford or GM? Ford.
It's Ford. Hear me out, right? Hear me out. I'm about to blow everyone's mind. You know how the glove box, like, comes out downwards, right? Double hinge it. Top hinge too. So when it's closed, you flip the hinge, and instead of folding out downwards, it folds out upwards.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm just saying, that way the passenger has a table too. Revolutionary. There you go. And your winner for best innovation out of the Rimac Navera, the car that goes in like 0.9. The Honda E-Clutch and the Ford table is... It's the Ford table. It is the Ford table. With a combination of my glove box table. So I will, on Ford's behalf, accept the award for best nomination. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Look, I didn't even mean it. I just came up with it on the spot. I was like, clearly... Those years of engineering at school helped out, you know. I will be patenting that, though, Ford. So, you know what? You want it, you come get it. Is that even a thing you could do, like a swappable hinge? I don't know if that's a thing. You know, I'm sure.
Out of plastic? I imagine it would disintegrate quite quickly. But,
yeah.
It's like probably could.
It's like making a foldable phone hinge, but out of plastic. You know, it's like but yeah, a swappable hinge, and then but I mean, it would degrade no more than the regular hinge already would. So that's where I'm putting it. But you know what? Pretty big year for innovation. Last year's innovations were the Koenigsegg Auto Manual Gearbox,
Yeah, actual innovation versus a table, some stupid records, a worse clutch.
The Lucid Sapphire breaking a bunch of records, and then bonnet lock, which I don't think either of us knows what that means now.
Was that sarcastic for the Mercedes bonnet locking itself? So you can't open it kind of thing?
Think. Oh yeah. Supply and install included.
I guess there weren't much choice last year.
I suppose so. But then I will. You know what? I think you'll want to. No, I want to announce for that one. So hit me with the nominees for best refresh.
Best refresh. There were some stinkers this year, but best refresh. Nominee number 1 is the new Ford Mustang, obviously. Then it falls apart. Nominee number 2 is the Toyota GR Yaris refresh.
Yep.
Yeah. Nominee number 3 is the BMW M2. It's the best image I could find.
Yep.
Nominee number 4 is the Honda CBR 600RR.
Those are your nominees for best refresh of 2023. These are cars. Now, I was gonna call it refresh and replacements, and then, it'd basically just be for the Revuelto, essentially. Just cars that, they got.
I'm not letting the Revuelto win a category, unfortunately, so I had to rig this one.
Yeah. And you were adamant that the Ford Mustang had to be on here.
I hate the new Ford Mustang. The wheels look even stupider in this image. Why are they so small?
They're pretty small, but the car's cool. Come on. Come on.
Buy a last gen Mustang.
Well, look, this thing's newer. It's cooler. Come on. Didn't they sell the VIN number 1 for this for like 500K?
Grand.
Yeah.
I think it was about 500 grand. Yeah, something like
Wild.
that. Imagine paying 500 grand for this.
Look, the thing with this thing is while the Camaro gets cancelled, Dodge Challenger and Charger get cancelled for an EV, Ford redid their Mustang, right? Out of those 4 iconic muscle cars, while each and every one of them is getting knocked off the board, Ford went, you know what? Screw you. We're gonna revamp it. We're gonna give it a new look.
I don't know who they're lying to the European Union about emissions, but there's no way this passes Euro emissions.
Is this 7 in the UK?
It has like 8. Yeah. This has like 8 catalytic converters. There's no way this passes Euro emissions.
Then we have the Toyota GR Yaris. What was the old one of this? Because, like, I don't
think that's an image of the new one. I can't find an image of the new one. No one cares enough. But it's got a new front bumper.
Yeah.
Basically, the rest of the changes are interior based. It's got a new spoiler, a new brake light sort of thing to bring it to the more Toyota line across the rear.
Yeah.
And then, the interior is just a lot more boxy, like an 80s style.
But this thing got nominated as well for Best Refresh. Then... was there nothing else? Was there?
Name a car right now that got a refresh this year.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's a bike on the list.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of the Honda CBR, I mean, again, this one's to you.
I mean, yeah, Honda CBR 600RR it's the exact same bike from like 2007, but it's got wings on it. Look,
I was gonna say instead of having canards, it's got like the proper like MotoGP kind of looking ones instead of having the like fins,
wings,
right?
Wings.
It's got actual wings. I mean, I imagine the next refresh of this better have the spoiler. It better have the spoiler.
And it's got little wings, look, see, pointing out under the CBR logo down the left level. It's got little wings.
Oh yeah,
little wings,
yeah.
tiny little wings.
It's got wings. This thing, fair. This thing fair. It's pretty cool looking for a bike,
It's cooler than the last gen, but yeah, there was no other cars. So.
Yeah. And
I'm down for you to change the winner if you want. Now that I'm thinking
I was gonna say.
Neither of them deserve to win. I would have a no contest this year. And I don't know, no one gets an award. But
I think I'm happy to give it to either. Those two is where I'm happy to give it, but I know which one of those two you'd want to give it to. Sorry.
Oh yeah, this is all you.
All right. This will be a last minute winner. Okay. Your winner decided on the spot. of the Stick Drift Awards here on this very stage goes to, out of the Mustang, the Yaris, the M2, and the Honda CB600R.
CBR 600RR.
CBR 600RR. The winner I'm going to pick is... It's gonna go to the CBR 600RR. I'm gonna have to give it to it. It was between that or the Mustang. And look, you're right about the wheels. I like the rest of the Mustang. But you're right about
I don't like the front bumper either. I just don't like it.
The front bumper's great, alright? I think the front bumper works. It's good. The fact it's
compared to the last gen?
I don't know what we were doing when we said that the Yaris was to win.
The Yaris is just such a cool car.
It's just...
But it's... no one cares enough to get an image of it. So,
yeah. Do they still race in Rally? Are they one of the 3 teams left?
Rally... The way WRC works now is everyone gets the same chassis.
Yeah.
And they just put the body of a car over it. So it's not actually the GR Yaris that's racing.
It's but it is still Toyota.
With a GR Yaris body.
Yeah, it's still Toyota racing though. Tell you what, we got some
Toyota,
stuff to
Ford,
talk about.
and Hyundai are the only 3 brands.
Yeah. We got some stuff to talk about when it comes to Rally recently. They've been pulling some stunts to get anyone to watch. Which, you know what, worked. I saw that was like I got a TikTok that was like...
Has it worked? Have you watched a WRC race since then?
Okay, I haven't, but it had
there we go.
It had like...
I don't even think you can watch it on TV in the UK.
Can you not anymore? Damn. It had like
to pay the license fee.
It had like 700k likes and
none of that results in money.
But the comments were all like, "This is so cool. Where do I watch Rally? Help me find Rally. I'm gonna go watch Rally now."
Rally? Yeah, that's a good point. You can't.
But yeah, the winner for the best refresh, Honda. You know what? You did a pretty alright job.
Now, if they put the E-clutch on this, that would be groundbreaking.
There we go. And I want to announce this next one. For specific reasons. Your next award is a Stick Drift podcast favorite. Worst brand of 2023. Your nominees are Tesla.
Such a stupid image.
Winner of Best Car 2022, Lotus. Fiat and Volkswagen for Dieselgate. Volkswagen for something that happened here. I don't even know. Second time they've been nominated. They were also nominated for 2022.
Such a stupid image. What is it?
It's just, you know.
They got some real hate for that. Someone sat there and made this image, unironically. We're like, yeah, Volkswagen, take this.
Well, they were adamant that they didn't want Bumblebee to be a Beetle. Because they were like, our cars aren't killing machines. And then they found out, no, they're just killing everyone's lungs instead. And they went, okay, fine, he can be a Beetle. You can have him. You can be. We always wanted him to be a Beetle, actually. But Tesla is on here, I suppose, for the Cybertruck.
I mean,
look, the Cybertruck.
The image is a Roadster.
The Roadster still doesn't exist. Car announced, what, a decade ago?
At least, yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, a car announced 1 decade ago and still doesn't exist. This car, as well as the Cybertruck, which actually released this year but didn't. They did a bunch of promo. They were showing it around everywhere. But the thing is, it's supposed to be a pickup truck. It's got less space than most pickup trucks. It's heavier than most pickup trucks. It also...
Less space than most pickup trucks is an insane statement, because it can't even fit a bike in the back of it, but yeah.
It literally... It can't make it up. And it was like a really old school Toyota that could for an example. Like, just a mound. Just a dirt mound.
To be fair, the Toyota weighs half.
Well, I mean, they should have done something about that then, is what I'll say. They should have bloody done something
they should
about
never
it.
have advertised it as a pickup or off-road at all, because it is terrible. It weighs like 4 million tons.
The fact that they tried to get away with marketing, like, it can beat a Porsche while towing something. Absolutely outrageous. Absolutely disgusting behavior.
They didn't lie directly in the marketing material. Elon Musk going off script is what's done him in there. Because they claimed it can beat a 911T while towing a 911T. Which it can to the 8th, which they say on the website.
Oh.
But Elon Musk claims in the quarter mile because...
Speaking of Elon Musk's claims, last year, Tesla Cybertruck can serve briefly as a boat. We're not forgetting about that.
Who's gonna first person to plunge their Cybertruck into the Thames wins?
I mean, yeah, wins a lovely lawsuit is what they win. They win a brilliant lawsuit.
It's probably in the contract you sign when you pick up the car that you're not allowed to use it briefly as a boat.
Honestly,
Tesla's lawyers must know by now.
So yeah, as well as Tesla, stinky brand. Then we have. We'll come back to it. Actually, no, we'll talk about it.
No, Lotus are a bad brand.
Okay, but let me let you in on something first. Did you know that the Lotus Emira won Car of the Year 2022?
I would say that it deserved to win Car of the Year at the time, with the information we were given.
Sure.
At the price they advertised it at, it deserved to win.
Mm-hmm. And then?
It is now £20,000 more for the same car. It has not gained £20,000 in value. It is the same car.
Yep. And
but Lotus, for some reason, it's because they got all those orders, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were like, oh, orders, but people must want to pay £1 bazillion for this car. No, they don't.
So, Lotus went through a catastrophic fall-off this year. We started this year with being like, yeah, Lotus is going into it heavy, you know? They took a year off. They sold nothing 2022, and then sold a bunch 2023. They did the Evora hypercar concept car thing. Then they did the Emira.
That's still not out.
Then they did the Emira, which just pretty cool. At the time as well, won Car of the Year 2022. Then they did the Elytra, and we were like, you know what, this is pretty good. This is how an SUV should be. And then Josh saw one IRL, and that came crashing down. They fell off on all fronts, which is wild. To have had that much of a catastrophic fall off.
The Emira is meant to be their last combustion car.
Yeah. So not only that, they're switching to EVs, which are rough.
Oh, yeah, they're going to kill the brand, because no one's buying an EV Lotus.
EV Elytra is going to be a fun
one.
Oh!
Outright lying about the price is criminal.
I completely forgot, in those 3 ways that I mentioned, and the 4i car, the 4i sedan.
That is just idiotic. Like, that is... No one's buying that either,
like, really. That was almost good. That was almost what the Lanzador should have been. This close, man. It was this close to being what the Lanzador should have been. Then it was just kind of ugly. And then it just kind of sucked. It looks like a worse Polestar.
Yeah, it's too bloated. It has that EV, like, it's like, I don't know, cars become EV and then get bloated for some reason.
Yeah. Which is just so unfortunate. So unfortunate for this car. And it's found itself here. It's found itself on worst brand for 4 strikes. 4 fall-off strikes. Because, again, even that thing fell off. It was like, okay, this could actually be what the Lanzador should have been. And the more I sat with it, the more I was like, nah, I'm deluding myself. This thing, it missed. And then...
I don't think Emiras are selling, is all I'll say.
Oh. Is that so?
Oh no, Auto Trader. They're below MSRP. 0% finance APR, so they aren't selling. Vehicle tax included. First year service included.
Jesus. Okay, yeah.
They want these gone.
Yeah. Then we have Fiat, which Fiat are on here for one, the 600e.
And for not having the above 500% in the UK anymore.
True. And then they're on here for the absolute plague that has been the 500e. If you are a UK resident...
They've unleashed a swarm on the country. This has to be an invasion.
It was just one day. I went from like, oh, this car's coming out, it's coming out, it's coming out. Okay, when's this car come out? Oh, I've seen 3 of them in one cycle. Like... It's insane. And the reason was because they were doing insane benefits for him. They were doing like, we'll pay 5k towards it. We'll do the whatever.
Pay 5k, 0% APR.
Yeah.
It was all the usual stuff that means, please buy this car. Please.
Yeah. And then I just kept seeing them and kept seeing them. I still see them. And then on top of that, they advertise it. They keep advertising this car. YouTube ads, TikTok ads, podcast ads. I got a podcast ad for the 500e the other day. They are advertising this car so much as if everyone and their nans doesn't already own it. And it's a plague. It's just, that thing is going to be $2,000. That is going to be a $2,000 car.
They've probably lost like 50% value if you brought it at the start of the year.
That is going to be a $2,000 car within the next like 5 years. I swear to you. That's going to be the what's like the generic like new car buy, like a Corsa. That's gonna be the Corsa of the new generation. It's just like the rattiest car to pick up.
Imagine trying to convince someone to buy a Fiat 500.
Well, when it's like 500 quid.
500 quid cars they will never exist again.
I mean, that's the economy's fault. So, then we have Volkswagen for Dieselgate. Look, they shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have done it. Look, they didn't want to be nominated for 2023 worst brand, as well as 2022 worst brand in the Sticker Awards.
I will admit, they've also removed the manual option from the Golf GTI. So
that's what I'm talking about. There you go.
As a direct result of Dieselgate.
As because of Dieselgate. Look, they just when was this? 2016, something like that. I don't actually know.
Before that.
Was it? Oh, was it? Wow, that was ages ago then. But
2015.
I was close. So so they almost a decade ago just shouldn't have done it, you know? They shouldn't have done it. I can't wait for 2025 Stick Drift Awards.
It's the 10th anniversary next year.
Yeah, exactly. 2025 Stick Drift Awards is gonna be Diesel. It's gonna be worst brand nomination. Dieselgate 10-year anniversary. They shouldn't have done it. They shouldn't have done it, man. And your winner.
The thing is that everyone else done it, and only they got in trouble. It's so funny. Mercedes done it, Land Rover done it, but all they get is like stop doing that, please.
Well, it was like a
Volkswagen got executed.
Yeah. It was a Blizzard Ubisoft kind of situation, right? Like when those terrible allegations came out about Blizzard, Ubisoft had the exact same allegations, but Blizzard got all the press.
No one cares.
Yeah. But
the sad thing is, right, if Volkswagen never cheated the emissions, diesels probably wouldn't be getting banned the way they are now.
Yeah.
Dieselgate single-handedly killed the diesel engine.
And thus they're on here, you know? Every year, diesels are still... Yeah. The day diesels are back in town is the day they don't get nominated. They get nominated for Best Brand. And as the only nomination. We also don't have a best brand category, which is fun.
No, because I don't think that's just one bother to find. Yeah. No one done anything good this year.
Then we have the winner of worst brand of 2023. Between second year in a row nominee Tesla, Lotus, Fiat, and Volkswagen for Dieselgate. And your winner for worst brand of 2023 goes to, for the most catastrophic fall-off of all time, the Lotus brand for the Elytra, the Emira, the other sounding names, the Evora, the Elytra, the Emira, the
base Emira was meant to cost £64,999 brando.
Yep.
Can't go for below 80. It would have sold. 64 would have been about 5-6 grand more than a Supra.
Yeah.
Right? It makes sense. It's a more premium sports car than a Supra with a bit of exclusivity. But for £80,000, you're competing with the R8, the NSeX. Like, it doesn't... No, two cars don't exist anymore. Maybe that's the play.
They're selling it so they don't have to sell it eventually. That's what they're doing, you know. Well, the entire market that they're selling it in is getting knocked out.
It's just gone, yeah.
They are the only one left. But
when you compete with yourself, you can price it at where you are.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the the SUV, which you were like, yo, that's good. No, it isn't. Then the sedan, which is terrible. It sucks, because Lotus was so cool at the start.
Lotus get a thumbs down.
Yeah, because it was like Alpine, then Lotus, for me. Like, as in good car brands. And now it's... I
still think the Emira's cool. It's... Why? Why Lotus?
To see them go from winning best car last year to this, it sucks. It sucks to see. And
fired the TikTok admin, company goes downhill. It's no coincidence.
And they fired the TikTok admin. So there you go. That's why they won worst brand. But the next one I'm gonna announce, because
look, this is just your category, to be honest.
Essentially, look, this year, 2023, we saw the return of something rather cool. That was homologation style cars. And by that I mean when there's a car and it races
stretching the word homologation there.
Absolutely. For cars that are real world race cars, like GT cars or Le Mans cars or whatever cars, and then making a car for the road that has not equivalent, but similar power, that has similar customization, a wild price, but they're supposed to, and selling them to the public, because this is your nominees for something that I'm loving seeing in the car world nowadays, and that is race cars for the road. Are we counting the A110R? I would say instead of the A110R, which is the first nominee, I instead would say, I suppose, the A110 GT4.
Not road legal.
Is it not road legal? Okay, the A110R then, I suppose. The A110R.
I mean, the GT4 is like 3 years old at this point.
The Porsche 911.
That's a banger plate on the Alpine.
GT2. I see that. Yeah, that's pretty good. The Porsche 911 GT2, the Mustang GTD, and the Audi R8 ABT R. Well, it's got a terrible name. XGT. Those are your nominations for the Stick Drift Award, for the Race Cars for the Road Award. Look, it's just a cool thing a company can do, and it's nice when they do it. I'd say the Alpine is the biggest stretch for being in this category, because, I mean, this one's just, I mean more like the GT2, the Mustang GTD.
Yeah.
This thing, things with...
See how much better the Mustang looks when it's got a proper front bumper and decent wheels on it?
Well, that is the style of the new Mustang. That's the new Mustang style.
Yeah, but the new Mustang doesn't look like that.
Okay, well, yeah, I suppose.
Does it come with bigger wheels? Does it come with that front bumper?
It's got that big bulbous, the more old school Mustang, sort of more bulbous rather than just spiky style too, I suppose. The Alpine A110R, it did come out this year. It's just kind of fine. It's kind of alright. It's an Alpine A110, but it's sport. Yeah, I suppose. This thing, people were lapping this thing up when it first got announced. The Porsche GT2 RS. People like Porsche, and Porsche release big sporty car, but for the road. and people lap that up as well. You know, it's nice to get it if you're an actual Porsche fan, I suppose, right? I'll give it to him. I'll give it to him.
The people defending Porsche on TikTok don't have 240 grand.
Then we have the Mustang GTD, which I would say was when I started noticing this trend. One of the coolest ones that happened, you know, Mustang. They pulled out all the stops for this thing, I will say. They gave it the...
Yeah, they better for the price tag.
Well, that's the point of them, alright? That's the point of them. The GTD is a, what, GT4?
Is this... What, £250,000 better than a normal Mustang?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Sure. What is this, GT4? Is it a road version?
No, it's just like touring car spec.
Well, they made that, and then this thing is a road legal version that you can buy. So say you want a Mustang, you don't want the basic Mustang, you can get the GTD, and it looks cool, and I believe it sounds really nice as well, as far as I remember. Then we have the Audi R8, back from the dead. We have the Audi R8 ABT XGT. This thing, honestly, it's kind of sick. It looks kind of cool. It's an Audi R8.
It's so over the top, but in like a cool way.
In a good way, right? It's the race version of it, right? It's like a whatever racing version. I don't know, GT, whatever, who cares? But it's like a race car that you can actually buy with a price tag. But you know, but it's cool because it's a one-off, and it's the one that's Audi. Audi's dying with this car. All right, they are dying with this car clutched in their palms. Okay, and that is your nominations for the best race car for the road. And out of those cars, the Alpine A110, the 911 GT2. The Mustang GTD, and the Audi ABT XGT, your winner is the Mustang GTD.
Deserved win.
It's fair. Look, it's fair. I mean, like you said, you prefer it to the regular Mustang. They've actually made that Mustang good in your eyes, I suppose, with this thing. Minus the price tag. But they gave it cool rims. They gave it a cool racing version. It's good. It's been revamped. I like it, and I want to see this trend continue, where they release like spoilers, canards, all of that stuff, like just over the top stuff for a car that you can actually park in your driveway. You know, like that's what I want. That's what I want. I want more stuff like this.
Park an Audi R8 X. GTS, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know, center MK. See how long it takes your spoiler to go missing.
Yeah, I suppose. But, you know what? You can park it in like a Dubai driveway, right? There you go. Then, I will let you announce the nominees for Wildest Car Headline. Take it away.
Some of these are quite stinky. But
Sure.
Yeah, we got Tesla to begin Cybertruck deliveries, which is comedy gold.
Funny.
Slim Jim's custom-built Nissan Z reported stolen in California.
That one was just a banger.
It's just a banger. New Lancia Ypsilon. Is it Ypsilon? Ypsilon. Ypsilon leaks in multiple ways. It's just too good. And the Tesla Roadster could maybe arrive in 2024.
You know what's funny? I think we nominated. Let me see. Wildest Car Headline. Tesla Roadster 2022 specs price release date was nominated there too. So we have nominated the establishments that were nominated are The Guardian. We have other nominations went to Road and Track, the Jalopnik. I don't even know what that is. Then we have two nominations for Road and Track. Ooh, they've clearly been putting out some wild headlines. Tesla Cybertruck to begin deliveries. Not in Europe.
I mean, it speaks for itself.
Yeah,
really. I mean, they're not.
They just gave them to VIPs and are like.
Yeah, 10 of them went to VIPs.
It would be really funny if no one receives, other than the VIPs, if no one receives any more Cybertrucks in 2024. It would
I
be
imagine they will. I think
hilarious.
They are starting to produce them.
Yeah. And well, then we'll actually finally see how terrible. Someone's already crashed one. One's already been wrecked, which is wild.
Yeah.
The Slim Jim Custom Nissan. What a car to steal! What a car to steal!
I mean, if you're gonna steal a Z, at least it's the Slim Jim one.
True, absolutely true. Someone stole this thing as it was being transported, and yeah, it seems like, I don't know, whoever was just driving it there was like, hang on a minute, no one's around me. There's no city for a couple of miles. If I just left this truck right here, and I just kind of drove away with this car right now, not a single person would notice. And they got away with it. They got away with... And the thing is, how have they gotten away with it? They had to have put it straight into storage. Or else...
It was found.
Was it found?
Yeah.
Where was it found in the end?
Like city over or something, I think. It wasn't far away. It was just a joyride, I imagine. Someone's like, oh, the keys are on it, sure. Drive it over to the next city, and before it gets reported stolen, they just dump it. And
was someone arrested for it? I assume...
No.
I assume they don't care. It's a DNA, you know. It was a Slim Jim's Nissan, and they got it back. So, well, that's even better that they got that thing back. Then, honestly, from Jalopnik, an absolute banger headline. New Lancia Ypsilon leaks in multiple ways after crashing into canal. Just the best way they could have. That's the best. You know what? We love a good pun headline. The new Tesla Roadster could maybe arrive in 2024, 7 years after its debut. Yeah, this one's nonsense. Then again, we said it was nonsense that the Cybertruck releases 2023, right? What's the odds that we actually start seeing the Tesla Roadster start releasing?
They haven't even shown images of the Roadster, so I don't think it's anywhere near.
Well, they have one. See, look, there's one right there. See? You know what I don't get? What else are they doing at Tesla, right? Like, the factory still produced the other ones, right? But what else are they doing at Tesla? Like, not the factory people, not the factory workers, but the admin workers. What are they doing? Are they asleep at the wheel? I don't get it. What are they...
I mean, they've pretty much killed their European chance at success.
Yeah.
Volkswagen overtook them in market share in the EU.
Yeah, that's rough.
Like, even though the Model Y was, like, it's basically the best-selling car in the UK and most of Europe, because they only make, like, 4 cars, their lack of diversity just killed them.
And they're not even like the leader in EVs, right? They're not the...
They dropped 4% on Volkswagen to EVs alone this year. Yeah. And I imagine it's going to be much, much more. The second the ID2 comes out, it is over.
Yeah. It's rough for Tesla.
They either need to position themselves better. They're positioned in the middle at the minute, like a mid-range electric car. They either need to go premium or budget.
Yeah.
Because Volkswagen have 1 million mid-range EVs. When Mercedes gets those out, they're going to have 1 million mid-range EVs. There's just... Why would you buy a Tesla over a Volkswagen or a Mercedes?
Because it's a Roadster. Ooh,
it's nice. The Model 3 that looks like it's about 10 years out of date already.
I was going to say, the issue with the Roadster is that it was announced and shown ages ago. So it looks like a car from ages ago.
Yep.
Like, it looks
all
like...
Teslas suffer with that problem.
Yeah.
Every single Tesla looks outdated the minute it rolls off the production line.
Yep. It looks to me like an e-tron kind of outdated. Like, it looks rubbery. It looks...
Well, yeah, it's the same process.
Yeah.
Tesla focus on looks first. That's the first thing they reveal. It's like, oh, this is what this car looks like. Before developing the powertrain to go underneath it. Everyone else goes, this car will have these specs. Then a year before it comes out, you get an image of it, like a teased image. And the production version won't look really much like that.
I love this way of describing it. The second generation Tesla Roadster has been terminally delayed. It's been diagnosed with terminal delay.
Terminal delay.
But out of these, I'll let you announce the winner of.
The winner out of Tesla to begin Cybertruck deliveries. Slim Jim's custom-built Nissan Z reported sold in California. Lancia Ypsilon leaks in multiple ways, and Tesla Roadster could maybe arrive in 2024. The winner of those is Lancia Ypsilon leaks in multiple ways.
There we go. Absolute banger. We love a good pun headline. That one's brilliant. I wonder what won last year's. Let me actually check this.
Tesla Cybertruck or Roadster.
It was Tesla Roadster's 2022 specs, price, and release date. I will say though, if I'm to look back, Florida finally banned street racing. It's kind of up there. That was maybe up there to win. Maybe I would have said that that should have won. Then we have I'll talk about best car media. We have your nominees for best car media are the Ferrari movie, the Gran Turismo movie. Fair bit in car media this year. Twisted Metal and Fast X. Those are your nominees for best car media of 2023. Now, we watched these. Did we ever get to talk about Ferrari? No, this is our talk about Ferrari, right? We haven't got...
Is there much to say?
The pacing was just rubbish. Pacing was
bad. The CGI was bad.
Oh, God. There's 2 crashes in the movie.
Physics were bad.
Terrible. The acting was
Actually, was alright.
Yeah, the acting was good. I feel like some of the racing was kind of alright. Like,
sound engineering was great.
Yeah. But, like, I remember the entire time being like, okay, this is alright. Oh, this is alright. Okay, it's dragging on a bit. This is alright. Oh, the movie's done. Oh, okay, the movie finished. Wait, that was the final scene? Oh, the movie's done?
You have to be on speed to understand what's going on in that movie with the pacing. Like, it's just all over the place.
They reveal stuff. They establish some stuff. Pay it off. Establish. Don't pay anything off. Establish more stuff. Establish more stuff. Then pay some of it off. Then establish more stuff. And the movie's done.
Yep.
And all that stuff at the end has not been paid off. Like, it made no sense. The acting was fun.
One of the worst films we watched this year.
Honestly. And we watched,
like, outside of racing.
Yeah, and we watched, like, Aquaman 2, The Flash. Like, we watched some stinkers this year. And it's surprising that this is the worst. I genuinely now want to watch Lamborghini. What could be worse? This or Lamborghini? It's up there. But then I will say, with lack of much else, one of the better movies we watched this year was the Gran Turismo movie. Look, it had a story and it told
I wouldn't rate it higher than 5, but
No, you're sure, but it wasn't many good movies.
Does that just speak for cinema as a whole?
Speaks for cinema. From gamer to racer, the acting was actually pretty great in this. I think I remember pacing being a little weird, but not Ferrari bad.
There was some cringe as well.
Yeah. Like, when he's like, well, actually, Gran Turismo isn't a video game, it's a
It was Gran Turismo glazing simulator, is what that was.
It's not actually a video game.
It's so realistic, I can feel the brakes. I've raced this circuit 1,000 times. I know how the car should feel.
They did just, like, such an obvious rule of 3, where it's like he overtakes on the wide, right?
Oh my god, yes.
The filmmaking in the movie was so obvious.
It was fresh out of film school level.
Yeah,
it was rule of 3, symmetry.
You could see stuff like he's like in the race before he crashes. You already know something's gonna happen because he goes up to his mentor and he's like, here's a present that I got for you, but don't open it till after the race. And you know what? I really like you, man. I hope I don't crash and get into a terrible accident right now.
It was such a shame if the car was to crash. And this race,
it would
This is why you shouldn't open the present till after the race.
Make sure you open it together. Me and you, man, because I'm going to make it out of this race. Okay, I'm going to go race now. Like, it really, that's the best way to describe it. It's right out of film school. The filmmaking in this movie was so obvious.
It's a Gran Turismo film at the end of the day.
Exactly. But that's what I mean. It's like they did make a movie, right?
Maybe I'd rate it lower than a 5.
Ferrari, I don't know. I feel like 5's alright, because that's the basis.
5's average.
That's
I wouldn't want to watch Gran Turismo film again.
like a 4 then. I'd say a 4, but if Gran Turismo...
Ferrari movies are 1.5.
That's what I was going to say. If
this discussion.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, Gran Turismo, if Gran Turismo's a 4, Ferrari's a 1. Like, no question. Like,
the sound design was good.
Exactly,
it was good enough to give it a 1.5.
That's what I mean.
The rest of the
it's
film
like,
in the bin.
If Gran Turismo was 5, then I could understand Ferrari being a 2. But no. Ferrari's at, 1.5. Then, something neither of us have seen, Twisted Metal. Look.
Twisted Metal, I love this. Whoa.
Let me just say, in my defense, you can't watch it in the UK. Like, it's not in the UK. I mean, it might be on, like, on the back-end sites and the dodgy sites, but no, it's not in the UK at all. I searched on my TV.
With, what's it called? Audi
Lancia. Yeah. It's,
can't watch it because you can't watch it in the UK.
I hear it's...
I love geo-locking stuff.
Yep. I hear it's good. Won't ever know. And, it's got a...
on TikTok.
Yeah, it's got a nomination, but, not much else we can do about that. And then... And then Fast X.
Maybe it's because I haven't seen it in a while, but it was kind of a banger.
I want to say like 7, just because of what I remember.
7? I would say it's above average, but it's 6. 6.
Look, Jason Momoa was the highlight of that film. He was the absolute highlight.
Actually, no, now that you mentioned it, maybe a 7. Yeah,
because Jason Momoa was fun. The cars were cars.
The ending was so stupid.
So stupid. The side plot with John Cena was kind of dumb, where he's
materializing Camaro.
Yeah, the the scene where it's a massive gunfight, and then Brie Larson comes and saves Dom in this massive gunfight. She brings him up, and was it Dom or was the other woman? And she's like, we need to take us to the hospital. Come on, let's go, let's take her to the hospital. Just arrived at this fight, walks, still in the fight area, walks 2 meters away, pristine condition, parked for the camera. That's like one of the only times I've
ever laughed in a cinema.
We laughed.
It was so funny.
Laughing in the cinema. Because I started laughing and then you start laughing.
It's the most obvious product placement I've ever seen in my life.
She walks 2 meters away, pristine condition, parked in the camera's direction, wheel turn, Camaro's NL1.
There's dust in the air, rubble all over the floor. There's not a speck on the Camaro.
It was right off the lot. It didn't even have, like, dirt from driving there, let alone dirt from where it was.
They had built it where it stood.
They had the twist of the one agent guy being a villain the whole time, which was so idiotic, because the way they made Jason Momoa and this guy, the villain, is first they do Jason Momoa, and they're like, he was in that one scene from 6 all along. And then they introduced the white guy villain, who they dipped in spray tan, by the way. Then they introduced the white guy villain, and when they reveal he's bad, they're like, he was in that one scene from 6 all along.
Yeah.
What I vote they do from now on, right? Every villain. Because they had that one scene, right? Where, you know, the safe gets dragged away by the cars. And then Jason Momoa walks in shot. And then they play it again later. And then that guy walks in shot afterwards. Every villain from now on, they do the big villain. And everyone's like, why are you mad at us? And then the big reveal is that they also walk on screen back in Fast and Furious 6. Oh no, it's so bad.
It wouldn't be a banger though, to be fair. When does part 2 come out? Because it was part 1, wasn't it?
I don't know. It's embroiled in controversy currently. Did you know that, like, apparently on the set of one of them, everyone just kind of knew? I know someone in the film industry, of course, not going to say who, But did you know that like everyone knew that Vin Diesel was having an affair on the set? Like, he tried to collude and be like, yo, we swear to secrecy and you're never gonna tell anyone. Everyone on set just, like, knew that he was having an affair. Like, it was just a known thing. And now currently he's embroiled in an assault allegation. So, yeah. Speaking of Ferrari-level payoff and establishment and then no payoff, they had Han eat a weed brownie, hallucinate for a second...
I forgot. This might drop it down a point, I can't lie.
And they never brought it up again. And
they had to have cut something there.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes no sense otherwise.
And because they're trying to desperately force a sequel...
You say weed brownie, that was some strong weed. I think it was an LSD. Like an LSD brownie, I don't know. He was tripping after a bite.
And then because... they're so desperate for this to be a more than one movie, right? It was just a movie of being like, okay, so this team is over there, these guys, they're over there, and these guys are over there. Alright. Bye-bye. Come back when we release the next one.
Yeah.
The movie ends with the plane crashing with, like, all of that was so dumb!
He, like, nitros down the dam or something, and it's...
Well, he's on the dam, and then he's like, and then... the loudmouth guy who had the money, and then they were fighting over the money at some point, which was just a dumb side plot thing to have because he was being really frugal for some reason. Then the plane flies in, and he's like, "Hell yeah, dog, family's here!" They get RPG'd straight away by the villain, by the other guy. That's what I mean when I say Jason Momoa was the only good thing in that film. Yes. Like, the only good thing. He played such a good, like, weirdly flamboyant yet terrifying villain. There was that DeLorean concept that was in there. There was the chase scene in Italy. For 2 minutes. The chase scene in Italy had terrible CGI as well. The bomb.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Overall, it was decent.
Didn't they kill John Cena? He was bad. He was a bad guy before, and then he's just good in this movie. He just is good in this movie.
He's gonna come back, I guarantee it.
1000%. Shaw is in that film because they go to him in London and it's just like, hey, Shaw. And then there's such a dumb, you know what? Misunderstanding fights, if you get what I mean, right? Where it's like people are fighting. Yeah. A misunderstanding fight can be done well in like so few circumstances. Because you always have to be like, why isn't he just explaining why it's wrong that they're fighting? They did that the worst. Because it was just like, it's like, Han opens the door and he's like, oh, I'm here to speak to you about something. And he's like, yeah, you're someone I killed. And then they start fighting. And at no point are they just like, we don't need to be fighting right now, by the way. We're here for help, you know. None of the other guys come in and be like, you know, we could just not fight right now. We're kind of trying to sort stuff out. And then afterwards, Shaw's like, oh, right, they're coming after my family as well. All right, I got to go off screen and come back in the next movie then. And he sods off. And then we never hear from him again in the movie because, of course, it's supposed to be a 7-parter.
Yeah.
Like, then there was the guy in the body bag that he was punching because he was punching a whatever they're called. And there was a guy he was interrogating, I guess, in that bag. Shoddy movie. Such a shoddy film. Dear God.
Yeah. Better than Ferrari.
Better than Ferrari. For a specific reason. This is your winner for the best car media of 2023. Now, this might surprise you. Runner-up for the So Bad It's Good award is Fast X. I'm worried that if I ever rewatch it, it's gonna be so bad it's bad.
It will be.
but your clear winner, and it's like, it's the only one here that, one, we can watch, and was actually kind of a film at the end of the day. Your winner out of Ferrari, Gran Turismo, Twisted Metal, and Fast X is Gran Turismo. Congratulations! The Gran Turismo commercial has won Best Car Media. Honestly, it would probably have gone to Twisted Metal if we watched it. Like, we just never ended up actually being able to watch it.
So it don't matter really.
And I'm genuinely considering that it maybe should have gone to Fast X, just because, like, Gran Turismo was a movie. Fast X, no. But now, finally, we are into the last sections.
Only 2.25 hours in, and there's 3 more to go.
Well, these ones are for the final sections of the Stick Drift podcast, the gaming, and the motorsports section. We have 2 awards for gaming and 1 award for motorsport. Your nominees for
you
best...
You like my image for option 3.
For best car... for best car game moment of the year. Your nominees are the Gran Turismo 6 trailer.
I just linked the trailer.
Not Gran Turismo. The GTA 6 trailer. Okay, where's a shot with cars? There we go. The Crew Motorfest's release. Everyone's unanimous dislike for Forza Motorsport. Which the image Josh has selected is the review for it.
2.1 star of 420 ratings.
And Rocket Racing in Fortnite. Those are your nominees for best car gaming moment. We got GTA 6 trailer. Look, you could argue that's not really a car thing. I think that is going to be one of the biggest car culture things in the world. I think GTA 5 already has a massive, massive place in the car world. Like, most car game players will play Grand Theft Auto for car meets.
Porsche do not sue for this 911 model in the foreground. Because, like, they have 3D scanned a 911 and put it in the game.
But, look, they get away with the license theft. They get away with so much, and they include so much, like, deep-rooted car culture that I think it's just thousand...
It'll be big.
Yeah. It's 1,000 times valid that not only will GTA 6 be a massive game, but it will be massive for cars. On top of that, like, they, speaking of cars on top of that, but speaking of that, it's gonna be with the guys who make they make GTA 5M. So hopefully,
yeah, that's gonna be ruined. They're not gonna let them have anywhere near as much freedom as they did with 5.
100%, but you know they got mud racing and dirt racing and swamp racing and whatever, and there's so many cars. Oh my god, so many cars. I think there's definitely gonna be like it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, and you know the GTA guys, the 5M guys, they care about cars. Then the Crew Motorfest release. Look, it was big when it came out. Look, it was. It slowed down massively. Yeah, but it did that lead into 2024, you know, because it had the Hoonigan update as well, and it was like, oh my god, Hoonigan, ooh. But yeah, the release was big. It was big. People were hyped about it. There's no denying that. And I will say, as soon as you pick it up, when there's still a month's worth of content to play, still pretty bloody good. Once you're done with that, there's nothing. Then Forza Motorsports unanimous dislike. You know what's wild about this is 420 ratings, funny number, 2.1 stars, and then right on top of it, IGN 8 out of 10, PC Gamer 80%. Wild. Like, absolutely wild that it got rated. In fact, the Black Panther pointed this out, where the Crew Motorfest was kind of unanimously given a meh from reviewers, and audiences loved it. And then Motorsport was given a unanimous loving from reviewers.
The way it works with this is Motorsport looks pretty.
Yeah.
And when you're a reviewer, your first impression is what you see. Game looks pretty. Oh, this fun.
Well, because
I drive around a car track.
Exactly. They've all got like embargoes nowadays, right? Of like, okay, you've got 2 weeks to play this game before the review comes out, etc., etc. So it's like they have to really speed on it. I think someone left IGN or like Game Ranks or someone like that, and they were like, yeah, there was this one time where I was given 2 days to finish a 36-hour story game and get the review out. Like, it's nuts, the kind of stuff that goes on in the gaming industry with that kind of stuff. So they just go, oh, Forza, okay, looks nice, okay, this. But this is Game of the Year as well. 2.1 star rating for Game of the Year. Then we got Rocket League and Fortnite.
Rocket Racing.
Look, there clearly wasn't a lot that went in gaming this year. The Rocket Racing mode isn't even good, is the worst thing. Like, it wasn't even great.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucked. And you know what? Your winner for Best Gaming Moment in 2023, out of the GTA 6 trailer, the Crew Motorfest release, the Forza Motorsports unanimous dislike, and Rocket Racing and Fortnite, your winner is Grand Theft Auto 6's trailer. Look, it was close for Forza Motorsports unanimous dislike, but I'm gonna give it to Grand Theft Auto. It has to. It's going to be massive, bigger than anything on this list. Not only as a game, but just its car side will outshine most of everything there. They do customization, car meets, all stuff that people want in car games. Then, I'm going to speed run, and we're going right on to Best Ongoing Racer. To recognize...
one of them, I think, is actively discontinuing support on this list. So.
Oh, well, Forza Horizon 5. The Crew Motorfest. The Crew 2. Interestingly, we'll talk about it.
Content.
And then Gran Turismo 7.
Whoa.
Is that the one? Which one's actively discontinued? Which?
I think GT7.
Is it? Aren't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they just release 2 new cars for that? I swear they did.
3.
Oh yeah, 3, sure. Well, 1 and then 2 Vision Gran Turismos, but sure.
Yeah.
Is it discontinued? Is that what they've done? Are they making the next one now? It's weird to discontinue a game before, they've made the new one to come out like the next month. Given the situation with the Crew and why that's on here.
Sport is
that makes more sense.
Online is getting turned off for Sport.
Oh, that is rough. Oh, damn. Okay. Ugh. That's like the last game that came out. That's not even. That's stinky.
This month, January 31st, so tomorrow. No more Gran Turismo Sport.
Damn, well, I hope you played it while you could. Forza Horizon 5, they did a rally expansion this year. They did that at the start of the year. People mentioned how that was much better than the one.
Better than the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, better than Hot Wheels. And 2, better than the actual map of the main Forza, surprisingly.
I would disagree.
Oh, okay. Have you played it? You played the rally, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, see, I never did. I still haven't.
It's a good map. It's just small. It's too small.
Oh, yeah, of course. But it's got good verticality, which Forza Horizon doesn't, which is nice. But they've got that, and they've been adding cars, and, they do a fair bit, and, it's Forza. Look, it's got to be on here.
Next one is a Chinese advert, but yeah.
Yeah, the next update is just, 7 Chinese cars. Full stop. Then we have the Crew Motorfest. I mean, they, within 3 months, did their first major update. Like, as the game came out, then they had the main stage already running. They had the 3 main stage cars. They had the summit cars. And then they had the Hoonigan update, where the first major thing, within 3 months of the game, they added a whole island. Which,
it was done before the game came out, but yeah.
100%. But, they planned for that, right? And that puts them onto 2023's best ongoing game. Then we have the Crew 2, Matt. Now, hear me out. There's a reason. So
no, I'm not hearing you. Mad is a terrible update.
No, well, the Crew 2 as a whole. The reason it's nominated. Like, what else could there be? Lego 2K Drive, for one, right? Like, what else is going to be nominated? No. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, you know? Like, if anything, everyone not even knowing Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 should have been a best gaming moment. Not even knowing that Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 released. The Crew 2's on here for the sole reason that, look, a new Crew game is out, yet this game is still getting updates. Yet this game got a new update with a bunch of new cars, bafflingly, on top of some fun gameplay. It's about 30 minutes of gameplay, but some very fun gameplay. And I'll give them that. I will give that to them. They did something there. And then we have Gran Turismo, which, I don't know, they add some in every time, I guess. Look, it's more than... They did release stuff.
They added stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, one real car. This update is a banger.
Yeah.
I'm sure the fans are going mad over the Suzuki Jimny.
And your winner for best ongoing racer of 2023 goes to...
Zero bias in this as well.
Out of Forza Horizon 5, the Crew Motorfest, Crew 2, and Gran Turismo 7, it's going to go to the Crew Motorfest. But now that I think about it, probably should have gone to Forza. I mean, Forza, they probably did a lot more, I guess,
Yeah.
But, Hoonigan update, woo! And I'm going to let you present the final award of this year of the Stick Drift Awards.
Just a Max Verstappen category.
Motorsports Moment of the Year. Hang on, wait, where's the music? There we go, music's rolling.
I got scrolled in the document.
Yep.
It is Max's Insane Season as option 1.
Yup.
Max Verstappen wins esports singular, which is a banger.
Yup.
Max Verstappen drives a Valkyrie, but really fast.
Brilliant one, I like that.
And then just MotoGP was good. I don't even know what image. I just gave on choosing images. I think you can tell
you
what
put the guy dunking the ball. Okay, so run me through some of these. Max Verstappen had a brilliant season this year.
Well, basically, yeah, the car was insane. He was insane. Won most wins in the season, most laps led in the season. Basically anything most of the season, apart from losses, I don't know, he's got.
Yeah, people described it as a perfect season, is I believe what people were saying for this.
He didn't win every race, so can you define it as a perfect season?
Well, there you go. What races did he lose? How many races did he lose?
4.
Damn, 4? This guy fell off.
4 or 3, I don't know, depends on many.
Well, I think Lewis Hamilton's better, actually. Yeah, take that, Max Verstappen fans.
Verstappen wins at an esport. He won the 24-hour Daytona, the virtual one, and then something else.
He had a bit of fun.
He's met IRL and virtually.
Good for him. Yeah, you know what?
Sums it up.
Good for him. Then
drives a Valkyrie, but really quickly. The image for this is just so stupid.
My personal favorite. This was my personal favorite.
He just drives a Valkyrie through a tunnel slightly quickly while being filmed by someone.
And then everyone was like, "He's gonna get arrested. He's gonna get arrested, and he's going to jail. But this is why he's better than Lewis Hamilton or whatever." So yeah, this I liked it. This was good fun. Then MotoGP was good. Run us through that.
Yeah, it's a good season. There was the championship battle was to the very last race, and then usual got too desperate, crashed, leading to Bagnaia winning his 2nd season. And he just dunked on the track afterwards. So, yeah.
Good on him. Good on him. The fact that he was like, I want to do this, and they went.
It's the fact that it cuts back from ads to they were just doing their cool down lap. It cuts back from ads just him dunking. It's so
I love that. I truly love that he was like, guys, I want to do this, and they went, yeah, sure, all right, we'll set it up. You know what? Put the brand logos on it too. We'll put the sponsors on it as well. I love it. It's great. Who knew that a motorsport could actually be entertaining? F1. In fact, I hear NASCAR was even enjoyable this year because they stopped going in a circle and there was actual like
I mean, that's a different series, but yeah.
Same thing, right? They were NASCARs, but in a different series, and that was brilliant, is what I hear. There was actually like a three-way tie, and it was like, oh my god, who's gonna overtake? Oh my god, he overtake! Whoa! And then it's like, oh my god, Max Verstappen's in first, and oh my god, Max Verstappen's in first. And oh my god, Max Verstappen's in first.
Yeah, there were some races that were borderline unwatchable, really.
Yeah.
It's a procession.
Well, it's because you're not watching anything at that point. You're just...
Well, it's not a race,
like,
it's a procession. It's just, going around track.
Nuts. But
the winner of Motorsports
sure, the
year,
music is running.
Out of Max Insane Season, perfect grammar there. Max Verstappen wins eSports Singular.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen drives a Valkyrie but quickly. And then MotoGP was good. The winner is Max Verstappen wins an eSports Singular.
Hey! I think
the title was just too much of a bagger.
Max Verstappen won. I think Max Verstappen won is what happened.
He won
there.
on and off the track.
He won on and off the track. I was borderline just for that GIF. I was borderline to give it to to MotoGP. And the winner of Best Podcast of the Year goes to it goes to the Strict Drift Podcast, and
it does.
We hope to, of course, win next year's Best Pod. But
it was a tight battle this year.
It was. We were very close beating out.
I can see the list of nominees is in the thousands. It was
and of course we won, which is pretty brilliant. We hope to win this year's award as well, given we're already in 2024. So off to a...
Can announce that now. It is 2024.
There we go, and we also won 2024. what a surprise! Congratulations. You know what? We couldn't have done it without you boys. Speaking of you boys, head down there, subscribe if you watched all the way through this episode. Leave a like on Spotify if you watch podcasts and stuff on Spotify. We're on those two platforms. Check us out and share the podcast with your mates, that's the main way podcasts grow. We'll see you boys. We'll see you boys next whenever the weekly podcast is back. But these suits will see you boys next year. That's about it from us. The best viewer award goes to you in a bit.